It's time. Finally, a show for you. A once-a-week extravaganza, giving you the weekend's movies, the week's cons and entertainment events, what is worth watching on television for the week, the weekly comic book, novel, game, and collectible releases, as well as entertainment news and information. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture. It's Pop Culture Kaboom with your host, Jimmy Jones.
Next shows.
Yes, next shows. Hello, world. Welcome to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Spencer Stoner is here saying weird noises.
Yeah, that's when you're eating neck shows. I mean,
I think that's Romulan for Merry Christmas. I don't know. It's weird.
What exactly are knock shows?
Knock shows.
Yeah.
Knox. N-A-X-H-O-S. Knock shows.
I don't know, but they sound tasty.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
What are they, Eric? Eric in Whittier, California is already online with me.
Oh.
Chatting away.
They were an Eric thing. I got it. Okay.
It all makes sense now, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, welcome, world. It's the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Spencer Stone is here talking in foreign languages. Rob Nolt is behind the big board and prepared to take your calls. And I am your not so humble host of all things Pop Culture Kaboom, Jimmy Jones, here to run my mouth like I am right now. Hey, stop making fun. No, that is my job. Anyway, tonight we will give you everything you want, everything you need from pop culture entertainment with the latest news and information from the past week and some sneak peeks at releases coming out for next week. I messed that up for the last 2 weeks in a row, and I wasn't going to prepare to do it this week. The Pop Culture Kaboom radio show is also your place on the radio dial to talk about your favorite fandoms, regardless of what it is, as long as it fits into these 7 pillars of pop culture entertainment. Tonight we will be joined by Quizmaster Scott from Sporkle Pub Quiz with Scott. Well, yeah, that's the whole name. Sporkle Pub Quiz with Scott for our weekly Sporkle Pub Quiz question. Very morbid one this week, too. You can win a gift certificate courtesy of Dreamwell Comics in Carson City or 2 tickets to see the advanced screening of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at Galaxy Theaters in Carson City this Thursday at 3 p.m. Why so specific? Because it's the advanced screening, that's why. And
yeah, because much after that it would be just a screening.
Yes, you can just, or a viewing, and you can just go and watch it. Thanks, Eric. I have food, and you are stuck in the studio. Well, hey, you know what, Eric? You hear that, Eric? That is a bag of candy. That's right. I got myself some good eats.
Yeah. So we're going to be riding a sugar high.
That's right. Get me through that.
And the crash. No.
Afterwards, yes. Anyway, if you want to go and see that, they also have a Wonka Concessions collectibles prize pack for you as well. Ooh, what does that entail?
Wow.
Stuff.
Is that
doesn't like stuff?
Is that from Fandango?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Galaxy Theaters.
Galaxy Theaters. Fandango. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. That's why I was like confused for a second. They're located on the tail end. It used to be Galaxy Theaters at Fandango, but now it's just Galaxy Theaters.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they kind of separated themselves, not physically because they're still attached to the casino, but yeah. You get a tin, a Wonka tin, and one other thing. I think a cup or something, a collectible cup.
Nice.
So nice collectibles. Because remember earlier this year that one thing, I think it was like Back to the Future when they were doing like a special screening. They had to like the popcorn tin for that, and it like sold out, and people were like selling that online for like $1,000. So those things are collectible.
Yeah.
So you can get yourself a Wonka Concessions collectible prize pack. Quizmaster Scott Jones will be on to ask you a multiple choice question and provide you a list of possible answers. Call 775-515-4141 with the correct answer and you win. Guess the wrong answer and we hang up on you. But quickly call back in and guess again before someone else beats you to the answer. And once someone guesses the right answer, that person wins.
That seems very, very logical.
Okay, there can only be one winner. There can be only one. Just like the Highlander. He has cookies and cake. Okay, yeah, I am jealous. He says, I'm going to make you jealous. I have cookies and cake. Just like the Empire, they have cookies. You ever hear that one?
Yeah,
Come to the dark
join
side.
the Empire.
Come to the dark side. We
cookies.
have cookies.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't say they'd share them. They just said they had them.
Right?
Yep.
They didn't say what kind either. They're probably oatmeal raisin.
I like oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay, so yeah, still a win. All right, I guess, and so you can't win unless you call, and you can't call unless you're listening. And that's how that works. Tony Sanfilippo, Filippo's Horrible Reviews, will also be joining us to go over the coming movie releases, all three of them, and we will have a special appearance from renowned author Stephen H. Provost. Stephen H. Provost will be with us to talk about his latest book, which just came out on Friday, called Christmas Nightmares Eve. And it is a perfect addition to any horror fan's Christmas list. You can get it, and you can get it now. Speaking of, this is it, folks. You now have officially 6 days left for your Christmas shopping. Are you okay? I turned the heat up in the studio.
Oh, no, I'm just shuddering because Christmas is just coming so fast, and I still have so much Christmas shopping to do.
Oh,
Wow.
Really?
I fear the coming of time for not getting enough presents for everybody for Christmas.
Now you kind of wish you had the Flash's ability, huh?
I kind of do.
Okay. Well, you know what? Tell them to call, and you can just say this is your Christmas present. You can get a gift certificate of Dreamo Comics. Or Wonka Concessions Collectibles prize pack. There you go. So speaking of, this is it. If you need any help, some ideas, feel free to give us a call. We are here to help you get that perfect gift for the pop culture connoisseur in your life.
Yes, not to help me, to help you.
Yeah, I can't help you. Well, maybe I can.
Well, no, because a couple of the gifts I have to get are for people who are in the studio.
Oh,
I have ideas, but I just have to actually go out and do it,
Implement them,
and implement said ideas.
So you got the idea, just not the execution.
Oh, for the particular gifts for the people in the studio, yes.
Okay, I still got to figure that one out myself. All right. So if you want to add your thoughts, comments, or talk about your favorite fandoms, or speak with our guests, call 775-515-4141. And that phone number is good from anywhere in the world. But if you're too shy for the phones, you can send a direct message through the through the Pop Culture Kaboom Facebook page. I combined the two words, pop culture and pop and face, and there's a and if you don't have time to comment during the show, well, you can still send us an email 24/7 by.
Yep.
And to do that, just send your questions, comments, or concerns to popculturekaboom@gmail.com. But you have to follow the simple but very important instructions. In the subject line, put question, comments, concern, or my fandom. It has to be one of those four things. In the body of the email, please add your first name, no last name is necessary. And I will not read email addresses on the air, so you have to put a name. Also include the city and state, or the city and country that you live in. That is also very important. And fire away with what's on your mind. I respond to each and every email. If you have a specific question for, and it's like, I don't know why the people do that. It's like, can I get to where you're the city and state you live in? Mm-hmm. Why are you going to send some, why do you need that? I'm like, what am I going to send a hit squad?
Yes.
Come on.
We're sending Scarface after you.
Sometimes people get weird about stuff. Then fire away with what's on your mind. I respond to each and every email. If you have a specific question for Spencer or Rob, I will forward the email to them to respond back to you. Bear in mind, emails are read on the air unless you specify for it to not to be, or you can't follow those really clear and simple instructions. So, Cliff from Bridge City, Texas.
Cool.
I really should have looked that up. Confetti bomb gifts? Wow. Is that what you're going to get us?
Confetti bombs? That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm not cleaning this place up.
Yeah, that would be the only downside.
I don't even know where the vacuum cleaner in the radio station is, quite honestly. I don't even know if the radio station has a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay. No, it ain't, because I don't want to know the answer. I have some issues. This is what Cliff wrote, by the way. I have some issues with the Godzilla Minus One movie you clearly overlooked. Okay. First off, they didn't explain anything about Godzilla. There were island natives that knew of Godzilla, but they didn't bother to give any backstory at all about why he kept coming up to this island, or when the island natives first started seeing him, or anything.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that would have been I think that would have been useful information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? Maybe in the sequel.
If there is a sequel.
If there is, yeah.
But the director recently said he's not too interested in doing a sequel. So.
Well, yeah, and continuity's never really been Toho's strong suit.
Because it doesn't mean that there's not another director that can do it, I guess. I don't know. Unless Toho's like, no, we only have this director. That's it. Like,
which they won't.
Yeah, but I mean, Godzilla's been around for 70 years. I don't think he's going away at this point.
Yeah, and it has not been the same director all 70 years either. So that's for sure. So yeah, I do think that's a good point. I mean, that would have actually been helpful because I was kind of curious about that myself. How long had Godzilla been around? Mm-hmm. How long has he been going up to this island? Why does he go up to this island? It clearly wasn't because he was there to eat people. Right. He didn't eat any of the Japanese people that were attacking him. He just stomped them and bit them and threw them across the island, which was kind of funny. Well, he did.
Yeah.
You're a nuisance.
Yeah, basically.
Like, I don't like the taste of humans, says Godzilla.
As he bites down. You got hands, buddy. Use them.
Well, actually, that's a good point. No, I don't think I've ever seen Godzilla actually eat anybody.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, and then it was like with the train thing. He looked like he reminded me of my dog when my dog has a toy. He just grabs it and walks around with it. That's what my dog does with toys. So, but anyway, good point. I concede that one, Cliff. Secondly, it clearly showed that Godzilla attacked several U.S. naval vessels on its way to Japan after the nuclear test. Given how imperialistic the U.S. military is, it's kind of funny because technically Japan was imperialistic because they had an emperor. But anyway.
I think he meant militaristic.
I'm going to let that one slide. Yeah. They would have spared no expense, Cold War with Russia, or not to hunt down anything that sank even one of their ships. I can almost hear like the, and somebody saluting in the background while I was reading that line. The movie would have and should have had the U.S. military doing a lot more to wipe out Godzilla. It made the film unrealistic to me. A movie about a giant lizard made it unrealistic. Okay.
Yeah, and at the end when he's standing in knee high to Godzilla water, but is apparently just standing over a 2,000-foot trench.
That reminds me.
That wasn't real. That wasn't the line. The line that the U.S. military didn't get involved is the line where it became unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the line he drew for that one.
But here's the thing: like I could see that if it was a American movie, but it's like not an American movie.
So here's what the foremost expert on Godzilla in the world, Scott Jones, sent me for that very thing, which.
It explains why Godzilla had really big feet.
Yeah, he had giant flippers. That's why he was able to suspend himself above the 12,100-foot crevasse or bottom of the sea. Was these giant flippers?
I told you he was waiting.
Either
you didn't
that
believe me
or,
when I said it, but
Yeah. So.
Well, are you the foremost expert in Godzilla, sir? I don't think so.
Either that or that's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah. An atomic fart,
right?
That's what keeps them afloat.
Well, that would definitely
it
keep
comes
them
out.
up there,
It comes out both ends apparently.
Right.
One's more like jet propulsion to keep them afloat. Picture
that
one. Yeah.
Logistics are astounding, aren't they?
Okay, Cliff. I know I am accused a lot of this, and I know a lot. You guys, I'm glad you're sitting down because the words that are about to leave my mouth will probably floor you.
Okay.
Cliff, you do have to suspend disbelief.
Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, did I hear that appropriately?
I don't know about appropriately, but yes, you heard that. Well, come on, man. If you're willing to accept that, Godzilla's in a movie, certain things have to come into, have to suspend it a little bit.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's a Japanese movie. They're not going to be too intent on having the U.S. military save them.
Well, in World War II, you couldn't get everywhere within 24 hours, So, we can just say, you can just pretend that the U.S. government was on the way. They just didn't get there in time for the party.
No, well, then you'd have to say you didn't listen to the dialogue, where they clearly said that the U.S. military was not going to intervene.
Oh, yeah, I know, but oh, wait. We got a caller.
We got a caller. All right. Hello, caller. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jim from Carson City.
Hey, Jim from Carson City. How you doing?
All right, I'm doing well. You guys are talking Godzilla. I went and saw it.
Oh, and what'd you think of it?
So now, now, let's put this in perspective. Compared to all the horrendous crap that's out there right now, I thought it was actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was, I mean, all I can ask for at this point, to be quite honest, I won't get political, is nothing woke in the entire movie. I was grinning from ear to ear. It was wonderful.
It actually had a decent story, huh?
It was, and it actually took some thought to try and come up with how they were going to get rid of Godzilla. It wasn't just that we need bigger guns, and that, well, I mean,
but they needed a bigger boat, that's for sure.
Yeah, they sure did. Right? But the funny thing about that sort of thing is, so if you flash to the beginning of the movie when they were on the island of misfit pilots and mechanics, I actually thought the smaller Godzilla before he became irradiated, that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that version of him was pretty wild. I'd like to watch a whole movie with just that guy.
Well, thanks for throwing a Godzilla prequel out there. Like we needed that in the ether.
Now, speaking of that sort of thing, what did you think of the end when the corpse was floating down to the bottom, and then you saw some signs of? All I could think was Godzuki.
Thanks for bringing up childhood tragic and trauma. I hated Godzuki. When he appeared in that animated Godzilla cartoon, I was like, oh. And then when they got to that part of the song, and I was like, Hey, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody born before 1980, Google it. The Godzilla animated series. It was actually not a bad show. No. Just that whole Godzuki comic relief garbage.
It was their Scrappy Doo.
Yeah,
very Scrappy Doo.
But anyway, no. You didn't? Did you hear the show last week when we gave our review?
Bits and pieces. I was in and out. I heard 10 minutes at a time about 4 or 5 times.
Okay, good. I was about to think you were in a coma or something. I was in and out. I couldn't.
It's the eye of the beholder, I guess.
That was kind of my big thing, was that they gave Godzilla a Deadpool level of healing ability, so that he could heal from any wound. Period. So. I don't think Godzuki, but I think that way they set it up for a sequel to have Godzilla just regenerate his whole body. The only questions in my mind from that is because there's going to be like the that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio from that movie he did with the beach.
Oh yeah, from the Shutter Island, where he points at the screen going, "Oh,
yeah,
well, yeah, I see that."
That and doing that meme like, "Oh." So there's.
I recognize that reference.
Yeah, I recognize that reference. So is it just going to be the normal sized Godzilla from the island, or is it going to be the irradiated giant Godzilla?
He is still irradiated.
Or is each piece going to be another Godzilla? And now all of a sudden there's 500 Godzillas.
Well, that would explain that would be a way to explain getting different Godzillas. Not necessarily space Godzilla, but you could get different monsters and mutations of them.
I was going to say the different. You have he shoots green in this one, I think it is, or blue.
Oh, it's blue. It usually is blue. Shin Godzilla was the first one to deviate to purple, I think.
But then there was the green one, and then.
Yeah, and then Godzilla X Kong.
Are we describing Godzilla or lightsabers here?
And then in the new Godzilla X Kong, it's red.
Yeah, it's pink. Yeah.
Depending on if you got the hue on your TV right, it's pink. I guess I don't know.
Now, I got to ask you guys too. Did you see that movie everybody's talking about on Netflix, the Leave the World Behind?
No, not yet.
The World Behind. No.
Oh man! Well, it's best summed up by a review that I read. Leave this movie behind.
Ooh, wow. Okay, that sums it up all right.
It is just. I mean, let me save you an hour and 45 minutes or whatever the heck it was. Terrible.
Oh, we appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, you saved me from even looking up the trailer. So yeah.
It was. Yeah, it's who wrote this? That's what I say about so many movies nowadays. Who wrote this?
See, that's why I'm gobbing onto this Godzilla movie, because it was just absolutely. Oh, this one's for Eric. That's a bag of M&Ms being opened, buddy.
This is actually Godzilla 01 is probably the first time I actually cared about the plucky humans at all in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I always wanted them to get eaten or something.
I mean, that's including the MonsterVerse ones.
Yeah,
I didn't even care when Walter White died.
Me neither, because they didn't show him. They showed Godzilla's foot. An hour into the movie, you see his toenail. But anyway, we got to go to a break. Hey, we got a really interesting trivia question this week. You got to call back and try and get.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
I'll be sure. I'll be sure to get it wrong.
All right. There's some optimism for you. All right, everybody, we'll be back right after this.
Set a precedent.
So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show coming up. It is time for the Sporkle Pub Quiz with Scott, and joining us right now is Quizmaster Scott. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. So if you are listening and you would like to participate in the Sporkle Pub Quiz with Scott, first off, you got to live in the general area. Anyone can participate, though. Quizmaster Scott Jones will be here to ask you a multiple choice question and provide you a list of possible answers. Call in to 775-515-4141 with the correct answer, and you win. Guess the wrong answer, we hang up in you, but quickly call back in and guess again before someone else beats you to the punch, I guess. When someone guesses the right answer, that person wins, and you can't win unless you call, and you can't call unless you're listening. So, need to know the question, that is. So what can you win tonight? Tonight you can win a gift certificate courtesy of Dreamwell Comics in Carson City. We also have your last chance to get 2 tickets to see the advanced screening of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom courtesy of Galaxy Theaters Carson City this Thursday, December 21st at 3 p.m. Why so specific? Because it's an advanced screening. And you can also get a Wonka Concession Collector gift pack, and also courtesy of Galaxy Theaters in Carson City. There are only 7 days until Christmas. Both prices would also make great Christmas gifts, so something to keep in mind. So, were you listening to the show prior to being on, Scott?
I was at work. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a bummer. Because I could have really used you to field some Godzilla stuff. But anyway, yeah. So how many different? Since I just want to throw this out there, it's not trivia or anything, but it could be. How many different variations of Godzilla's atomic breath? What color variations are there? Because I know Shin Godzilla had purple, but normally it's blue, right?
Blue, white, red. And back in the 60s and 50s when he first started, it was not even a beam, it was a mist, more smoke than it was a heat ray.
But it was black and white, so it didn't matter. But what color was it? Was it ever green?
Not that I know of. It was green in the animated TriStar Godzilla cartoon.
Oh, the one that was based off of the Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
Yes.
Oh, how hideous. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so no, that doesn't count.
Yeah. That doesn't count at all. So, I mean, actually, in that movie, all he had was halitosis. That's what actually said.
Yes, severe halitosis.
Severe.
Even the cabs flew to try to get away from it.
All right, Scott, you sent me this question in advance, and it is absolutely morbid. But anyway, it's going to be actually hilarious to actually hear people try and answer this. So, go ahead and shoot with the questions, sir.
All right, this is holiday based, and I hope it's not too dark. But at the end of the 1964 animated classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the misfit toys are delivered by an elf, giving them umbrellas to float down to houses below Santa's sleigh. Which misfit toy was apparently thrown to their death? A, the ostrich riding cowboy. B, the bird that swims in a fishbowl. C, the water gun that shoots jelly. D, the pink polka dotted stuffed elephant. Or E, the train with square wheels on his caboose.
Okay, so at the end of the 1964 animated classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the misfit toys are being delivered by an elf, giving them umbrellas to float down to houses below Santa's sleigh, which misfit toy was apparently thrown to their death. The ostrich riding a cowboy, that's answer A. B, the bird that swims in a fishbowl. C, the water gun that shoots jelly. D, the pink polka-dotted stuffed elephant. Or E, the train with square wheels on his caboose. Spencer, go ahead and write down your answer now. And Rob?
I already did.
Well, I'm not psychic. Can you show me? And you both are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen that.
I haven't seen that since I was probably like 5. So
yeah, me too. It's been a while.
I'm on a losing streak. Oh no!
I know. It's 2 in a row. 2 in a row for you, Spencer.
Darn it! I should have gone with my gut. That was the one I was going to pick.
That one should have actually gone with an umbrella. But anyway.
Yes.
So, all right. So that is the question. And again, this week you can get either a guest certificate for Dreamworld Comics and a pair of tickets, 2 tickets for the advanced screening of Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, or a Wonka Concession Collector gift pack courtesy of Galaxy Theaters. Now, you can either get the tickets or you can get the Wonka Concession Collector gift pack. So if you're already going to the theaters, you can get either or. So you don't get both. I don't think so. Maybe not. No. Okay. So your choice. So there's technically 3 that we're giving away this week. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you, Scott. But yeah, we'll see who calls in and see what they give for an answer. Yeah. Apparently, Eric decided to Google that. He puts green, white, yellow, red, blue, magenta, maybe, as far as Godzilla's atomic breath.
Oh, okay.
He was painting his room.
Does it say when he did green?
No, he just writes down colors, and that's it.
Okay. Because the only time I remember him ever having green fire was in the animated TriStar spinoff from the 1998
as we've determined, that does not count. That wasn't Godzilla. That was just Zilla.
I don't remember.
That was Zilla, yeah.
When did he have red?
He had red in Destroya.
Yeah, because he was overheating.
Yeah. He also had it at the end of Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla after he absorbed Rodan's life force.
He absorbed Rodan's life force?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, not at the end of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. He absorbed Rodan's life force, and then he used it on Mechagodzilla, and then at the end of Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, he used it on Space Godzilla.
Wow. Okay.
As like a finishing move.
So he just kind of siphons life force out of his friends.
It's kind of like the Spirit Bomb in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I suddenly have.
He's got to get the spirit from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this about Legendary: they haven't been too original with a lot of their stuff.
No,
I did appreciate in the first one though, where basically Godzilla just did his atomic breath right down the throat of the Modu. Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I've never really seen him do that close range of an atomic breath before. That was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. I thought that was awesome, but I didn't think his atomic breath in that movie was very effective for anything. It didn't seem like it was doing very much.
No, Godzilla's atomic breath, it's kind of one of those Deus Ex Machina things that's as powerful or as weak as they need it to be.
As the script requires.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I mean, either that or those Mudos.
Yeah, Mudo.
M-U-T-Us.
Yeah, Mudos, yeah.
Pretty tough because in the next movie he blasted a hole all the way to the center of the earth. So,
well, he rested up, had a good solid breakfast that day.
And a deep breath.
Yeah.
He used his asthma inhaler. Okay. Put his flippers away. By the way, that was a funny meme set you sent me about Godzilla and his being able to float.
Oh,
yeah. All right, Scott.
Did you show everybody?
I showed the gentleman here in the studio, yeah. I can't show the listening audience because it's radio.
Yeah, the atomic fart one was... the logistics are astounding to me on that one.
Yeah. That'll keep
that
you
makes
guessing.
sense.
No, it doesn't. Now that's going to give people ideas to give them flight. Yeah.
That's already happened.
Right?
Now it makes me question Gamera, actually. But anyway. But anyway, all right. So we will talk to you next week. Thank you for the ask, Rob. Eric wants me to ask you what you think of Monarch.
Monarch, I love it.
I guess so. What, episode 6 just recently
Yep.
came out?
Episode 6. Yep, on Friday.
Okay.
Yep. But
Yeah, I'm about to watch it.
Oh.
oh,
Well, then you get off the phone. You ain't listening to the show. All right, Scott. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. See you.
right. Yeah.
All right. So
As for everyone else, here's your spoiler alert.
Okay, let's see. It's more on continuing the storyline with his daughters. Although we learn now that they are actually calling. They have a device that they call it the Titan phone. So it basically it mimics gamma radiation, and so they can basically like send it out and then get a call back. And so they're using it, and they actually get Godzilla to come.
Gamma?
Yeah.
It sounds like more like the Hulk phone.
I know. I was going to say.
Yeah, so it was
Crossing over with Marvel
it's pretty
now,
cool.
are they?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so they have they introduced the Monster Island
A
concept.
literal Monster
Yeah.
Island? Ooh,
Yeah. So, which is good because like that's it hasn't been officially announced in like the regular MonsterVerse.
Oh, yeah, because you have Skull Island, but you didn't have the full-on Monster Island.
Right.
So I got a question for you since you're watching this series. So the cliffhanger, what was it? Episode 5? Episode 4? They like baited Godzilla to walk up to a nuclear bomb and set it off.
Oh, that
in
was
his
like
face?
episode 2.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It was back there somewhere.
Yes, that was the U.S. government basically getting rid of it. They wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah. So
So-
I guess you survived that.
Oh yeah.
They
They
explain
didn't
any
go.
of that?
No, because they started going off on the different Titans, and then that's where Godzilla just reappeared now. So, and that was the thing is Lee Shaw's character was like, we didn't kill him, and so it ended with them going to finding out that the whole government shifted. Who's now head of Monarch. And because he has like, we have to tell them that we didn't kill it. They have to do my job as it's my soldier job, and
It was my soldier job.
yeah, we have to. These are the people. We have to tell them that what's going on. And he went to go tell them, and it's like, oh, we have a new shift, and it's like the guy who does not like Monarch is now in charge. So it should be interesting. That's how it like went. Dun,
So the
dun,
guy
dun.
who doesn't like the organization is in charge
he
of
wants
the organization?
He wants everything to. He doesn't understand why the funding's there. It's why do we need the funding? All that jazz.
What are you supposed to do with this organization that's there because of these giant monsters?
He doesn't believe that they exist. That's the issue. Yeah.
What kind of a proof does he need? One to step on
Oh,
his head?
that's the whole catch-22 is that this whole episode was dealing with is that they're like, okay, we have to go get funding. Yeah, but we can't get funding without proving that these exist. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So the bomb being set off in Godzilla's face.
they lit off like their whole arsenal of nukes. Like,
Well, if it's anything like Godzilla movies in the past, he's had a history where he's been able to absorb radiation and it's just made
Right.
him stronger. It's kind of like when the god of the sun Apollo punched Superman, and Superman absorbs solar radiation, so he's like, you don't know anything about me at all, do you? So then he ended up punching Apollo, out of the atmosphere. So it's kind of the same effect. They think you're being real big meanie guy when you're using all your power, but the problem is it's the same kind of power that feeds the other
I
guy.
have no idea where that came from.
Oh no, like radiation feeds Godzilla.
I know that.
Sunlight feeds Superman.
I know that.
And Apollo, the god of the sun,
But I don't know
punched-
what triggered you to go off on this.
Well, because it's just basically your best attack fuels the thing you're trying to attack.
Okay.
So basically, it's supercharged. Basically, you get a supercharged Godzilla, and in the case of the Apollo and Superman thing, you get a supercharged Superman.
Yeah, okay. So the question I was actually going to ask, that's why I was like, oh, wait, I wasn't going to ask that. I thought you were like trying to read my mind.
No.
Okay.
Just talking about the radiation thing.
So was that supposed to be in the past or in the present?
that's the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that
So-
they're doing this whole time jump thing,
Yeah,
but
it's,
I didn't
it's
know
in the past. Yeah,
what.
and that's when we find out that Lee Shaw actually had a romance with the doctor from Japan before
Brown chicken.
Before
brown
Bill
cow.
Randa. Yeah.
Before who?
Bill Randa, Bill Goodman, John Goodman's character.
Someone had a romantic.
Oh, yeah.
relationship
So you have to see
with
the
him?
show. It's so complicated. There's so much going on in
Yes, there
backstory
is.
there.
Way too much. I can't track it now. I have no idea what's going on.
But like John Goodman's character from the movies, right?
Only that one, yeah.
Yes.
Kong, right? That was
Yes.
the
So
only one he was in?
his character is in the MonsterVerse Monarch show,
Okay.
and so he actually plays a prominent role in the past.
I was just about
Yeah.
that. So he's in the
And
past
his,
portion?
Yes,
Okay.
his kids are the roles in the future, or the present.
And this is the one with Kurt Russell where
Yeah.
his kid is
Yeah.
playing the younger version of him.
Yeah,
in the
it's
past.
cool because in
Yeah.
the credits it says Wyatt Russell in the role of Lee Shaw, and then it fades out Kurt Russell in the role of Lee Shaw.
Okay. Very complex. Apple TV.
It's good. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, yeah,
Apple
well,
TV
well,
That's
has
what I want
a
for
lot
Christmas.
of cerebral
Okay.
shows. Like,
well, it's pretty interesting actually. The time, because all these movies are so disjointed that it's interesting that they're bringing the show together to kind of give them an interconnecting, weaving fabric.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So let me get off of this. and
Although I
back to
do tell you, like,
that.
we started watching this other show that is absolutely gung ho nutso and hilarious.
What's that?
Oh, what
It's
is
called Obliterated on Netflix. It's a TV show. It has it's about the CIA operatives taking out a nuclear bomb supposed to set off by the Russians in Las Vegas. Absolutely hilarious.
Why would they pick Las Vegas of all places?
I don't know. Why is it the Russians? I mean, I don't know.
It's kind of like in Stranger Things. Why are the Russians in Indiana? I mean,
But yeah, no, it's absolutely hilarious.
Indiana.
My wife, I actually had to shut it off because I was laughing so hard I was going to wake my wife up.
Can't help
And,
that.
and she had fallen asleep watching it, and so we had to restart, which was no problem of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was absolutely. I recommend it. Highly recommend if you need a good laugh.
Obliterated.
Yep.
Obliterated. I'll have to look that one up. All right. So, upcoming stuff. There are now only 265 days until Carson City, Nevada's first ever pop culture and comic book convention, KaboomCon. 97 to Now Productions will be putting on KaboomCon Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Follow KaboomCon on Facebook to keep up with the details on all the vendors. Sign up for the art contest and the cosplay contest. Keep up on all the activity announcements and panels that will be taking place throughout the day, and special guest announcements from KaboomCon 2024. A limited number of pre-sale tickets will go on sale January 1st at midnight through Eventbrite.com, and a portion of the proceeds from KaboomCon will go to Cold Nose Rescue and Sanctuary in Mound House and KNBC 95.1 FM Community Radio. And that music means that it is time for us to take a break, and we'll be right back. Don't forget, if you would like to give a shot at that trivia question, there's 5 answers available. Remember, if you get one wrong, it takes that answer off the board, leaving only 4. And then you can call right back and try again. And keep trying until the end of the show, or until somebody gets it right. 775-515-4141, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom, a radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Eric writes, so I heard a rumor from the rumor mill. It always makes me laugh when people use that terminology. I heard a rumor from the rumor mill, because you actually picture a mill.
Yeah.
And if you heard it from the rumor mill, that means there's actual words coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird in a way if you think about it.
Well,
But anyway,
but
I
you heard a
digress.
rumor from the rumor mill. Sounds kind of redundant.
There is a new Superman film filming. Yes, there is, Eric. It is called Superman Legacy. It is basically James Gunn has taken over for Zack Snyder as far as being ahead of all of the movie production for the DC. So it's called the DCU.
DCEU. Yeah, the DCEU.
Extended
that was Zack
universe.
Snyder. That was Zack
Yeah.
Snyder.
It's
Oh,
now
yeah, I
just
think
the
it's
DCU.
Oh, is it
This is
just
the
DCU now?
Yes, DCU.
Okay.
So he is in charge of the DCU. They're going to be more interconnected with the comic books and all of the other television shows and other related media. Supposedly, though they're also setting other things aside as like the whole DC Black Label thing. So it's kind of confusing. But yes, there is, Eric, a new Superman movie is slated to be released in 2025.
And they've already cast a lot of the main characters.
Yes, they did. No pictures yet. So basically, this week is, or coming up, is Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. And it is the final film from the considered DCEU, which is, of course, the film legacy of Zack Snyder with DC Comics. So as he embarks on his latest one, Rebel Moon, which we'll be able to watch this week.
Yep.
Which has gotten
will.
horrible reviews.
Oh, yeah. It's been
19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I know. Oof. So somebody don't like it very much. So
Yeah, but I'm gonna check it out just because it's kind of fashionable to be hard on Zack Snyder right now.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, well. You know, when something's deserved, it's deserved.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's I don't know. I just have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of long, like unnecessary parts,
Slow motion.
Yeah,
like especially because there's an R-rated director's cut that's an hour longer.
That is another thing that is just
Like-
absolutely ridiculous to me. You are releasing a movie on Netflix. What in the world do you need to make a separate rated R cut for? I mean, come on. That is
That's
absolutely
an hour longer.
insane.
Okay, it's not even like 2-3 minutes, which normally is like the R-rated comes out to be because they add the gore back in, you know.
Yeah, like RoboCop.
Yeah, but no, it's an hour longer. So how much more? I mean, I don't know. I just have a bad feeling there's going to be lots of move it along.
Oh, well, his version of Justice League. I hadn't seen that much mountain porn since Lord of the Rings. I mean, why didn't Batman park his plane closer?
Right.
I mean, it took him days by horse to get to this village that Aquaman was at. Man, take your plane for Pete's sake. You're a billionaire. But anyway.
He had other vehicles to choose from too.
I know.
Yeah.
Take the bat boat or something, a bat copter, anything but freaking bat horse or whatever you
Get a
were
hitch to
riding.
ride with Wonder Woman.
Something. I mean, anything. Hey, rollerblade faster. I mean, there's
well,
snow on all these mountains. You could have skied.
Okay. After I watch it, I will give an honest review because since I am the only one who actually seems to be really looking forward.
Oh,
to it,
I'm gonna
I
go.
will-
I'm gonna
Well,
see
I'm gonna
it.
watch it too.
Oh yeah, but I'll be
you don't
on. I'll
think
be
I'll give
honest.
it-
I will not do the rose-colored glasses. No, because it's Zack Snyder. No, I'll be honest.
Okay.
It's done by James Wan. So
Rebel Moon?
oh, wait, we're talking. Oh, I thought we were talking about. I thought we were back to the Aquaman.
No. It's kind of back and forth. It's like playing, badminton. Just gotta
No,
watch
Rebel. Yeah, I'll end up watching. Probably not this weekend though.
I
Too
will.
much going
Well,
on.
It's
It's
gonna
Christmas
come out on
weekend.
Thursday, so I'll probably
Yeah.
watch it just because it's out on Netflix on
Yeah,
Thursday.
but then Aquaman. The only thing that really annoys me about comic book movies in general, Thor is the biggest Marvel equivalent to this. Is that the more sequels they're in, the stupider the character becomes.
And the brighter the colors, and the more, I don't know why is it the last two Thor movies, and now the Aquaman movie is like everything's. Blue Beetle was the same way. It's like the worse the movie is, the more neon colored it is.
Well, people complained about Zack Snyder's muted color tones, so of course that's how they overcorrected it. Of course.
Oh,
It's the new Technicolor.
techno bad, that's for sure.
Don't you remember Technicolor when that came out?
Yeah. I just thought it was terminology because it was in color. I didn't know it was like anything. Like,
It's a specific thing. It's
It was very bright colors.
Oh, yeah.
And especially on old
go
TVs,
watch.
you could definitely
if you go
tell
watch
the
like the
bright
Wizard of
colors.
Oz right now because that's still played in Technicolor in the theaters. It's scary looking.
wow.
Like yeah.
Oh. See, I've never seen it in theater. I've only watched it on public television. So, all right. So IDW Publishing is getting a new logo for its 25th year of publication in 2024. Congratulations. 25 years. You can tell because it's got a 25 on it. I don't know who the author of this is, but they are definitely
On it.
They are Definitely looking for that words per minute.
Yeah.
Which means they will need another one for 2026. No, they'll need one in 25 years after that. So
Or 30 if they do 30, depending on how they.
yeah.
Because that's what some people. That's what they'll do. They'll keep the 25 logo till they hit their 30 or.
Yeah.
I think so. I guess that's just an attempt at a bad joke. Originally founded, well, yeah, will need it because they'll have to take it off. Duh. I mean,
Oh, yeah, so they can just go back to the old one?
yeah, I mean, how goofy. What a goofy sentence to even throw in this article. Anyway, originally founded back in 1999, IDW span out from employees leaving Wildstorm and setting up in San Diego with 30 Days of Night by Steve Niles and John Templesmith kicking things off, with Lock and Key by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez not far behind, with licenses that have included Doctor Who, Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Star Wars, Godzilla, Star Trek, and more. Beginning February 2024, all new IDW comics will feature a new logo crafted by Nate Wideck, IDW's Director of Design, which calls back to the publisher's classic logo and celebrates the company's history. IDW's co-publisher, Tara McCrillis, is proud of being surrounded by a team of enthusiastic people who adore comics and knows that will help IDW as it honors the past while paving a new path forward. And in quotes, helping IDW celebrate 25 years, and it is a true honor. IDW was started with the passion of a few guys in a small office that loved comics, and today we still hold true to that sentiment. IDW is filled with some of the most passionate comics professionals in the industry, and it is a pleasure to be able to share space with them and keep IDW moving forward toward the next 25! Big exclamation mark.
Oh,
That's why I had to say it like that.
understood.
I'm thrilled to be part of the next evolution of IDW Publishing at IDW's co-publisher, Mark Doyle. We have some great plans to celebrate the past while building towards the future. We've got an amazing lineup of talent we're working with during this monumentous year. From some of the biggest names in comics to new voices who will become the superstars of tomorrow. I'm so excited for fans to read these great stories and learn about our plans. IDW CEO Davia Jonas understands the importance of respecting the company's history while working to be a unique presence in the comic industry in the years to come, honoring the trailblazing innovators that founded, grew, and solidified IDW as a premier graphic publisher is both right and wise, stated Jonas. Robbie Robbins and Ted Adams are at the foundation IDW. What? They deserve our deep appreciation and admiration, and we look for their example for guidance as we turn the next page to ensure that IDW's next 25 years return to being entrepreneurial, nimble, a fun place to work, to be in relationship with fans, partners, creators, and store owners, to be part of the beauty of the comics community. Beginning in 2024, IDW will also be releasing its very own solicits catalog for retailers, fans, and press to get a first look at what the editorial department has been building for readers. The first edition will release digitally this week, and future editions will release both physical and digital versions, which is kind of cool. It'll help out a lot. I will do my best to get somebody from IDW back on the show again. Since my last contact is retired from the comics industry, so he's no longer with IDW. But I will see if I can get somebody else from IDW to come on and talk about their big 25 years on the planet.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
So I'll see who this from this list I can go ahead and send emails to. So that is the big story. So IDW around for 25 years. That's a big deal. They're not one of the I think they're one of the top 5, top 6 anyway, comic publishers in the world. So congratulations to them on being around for 25 years. It's a tough business.
Oh yeah.
So
I've seen lots of comic book companies come and go over the years.
Yep. So there are a lot of weird X-Men related rumors around right now. Really?
Okay.
Especially on Reddit, 4chan, Discord, and the like. Often they will take one or two posts that Bleeding Cool has run and use them as to bolster a bunch of unrelated nonsense that people believe because, hey, Bleeding Cool has reported one of the 10 points, right? Which is true. I've noticed that a lot. A lot of people are putting just garbage posts out there. Well, it was on Bleeding Cool, and then you actually go to what Bleeding Cool said, and it absolutely was not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll take two words and make a paragraph out of it when those two words had nothing to do with what they were actually talking about. So anyway, well, here's another point to watch out for in such listings, because I'm going to give you the straight answer right now. So there aren't no garbage floating around out there. Well, there's going to be garbage floating around, but here's the truth. So when you're gathered around the water cooler tomorrow talking comic books, it's okay, Rob. You can laugh out loud.
It'd be cooler if you did.
Yeah, I would. Hey, did you check out X-Men? You got to say it like that, too, like you're a lumberjack. Hey, did you check out X-Men?
Yeah, the adjectiveless or the uncanny.
Yeah. So Bleeding Cool got the word that Marvel Comics is to launch a new series, Weapon X-Men, in March 2024. That's right. Anyway.
New characters or...
No. It is a new take on the old Exile series. It will see the Wolverine from Age of Apocalypse. You know, the one with the adamantium stump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Known as Weapon X. Leading a team of other Wolverines from different realities.
Oh, joy. Just when Wolverine wasn't overexposed enough.
Tracking down Onslaught across the multiverse. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Now, that sounded like an April Fool's Day joke.
Yes, it did.
But it ain't.
It's not April.
But this one is. And this is going to be painful to read.
Okay.
I'm going to wait until he stops drinking because otherwise he's going to
we don't want him to spit all over the board.
Or drowned in the studio. That'll be a tough one to explain. All right, so back when DC Comics was hiding Dawn of DC teasers in its press releases, there was meant to be the return of the Justice League, or the JL, and a big push for Detective Chimp. Might the two have somehow been combined, and JL actually stand for Jungle League? Because in March of 2024, DC Comics will be publishing their own DC's April special. APE-RIL. April special ahead of April Fool's Day. With a banana-scented variant cover as well. I am not making this up.
I have that little buffering circle just going in my head right now.
Okay, yeah. And now the joke is on me because I have to read the actual press release for this. Okay, you ready?
That's a gimmick.
No, well, it is.
Well, it is a gimmick,
but yeah, this is just okay.
That's like almost the textbook definition of a gimmick.
Wow.
All right, here's the actual press release. I'm going to read just verbatim how they wrote it.
Oh God.
Okay.
Get ready to go bananas as we honor DC's storied history with mankind's closest relatives in this epic adventure. DC's April special. Time to publish just ahead of April's Fool's Day 2024. It's going to be orangutastic to heat up I can't even pronounce this word, cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Prepare a batch of chocolate chimp cookies and get ready to read the one coming this year that's guaranteed to make you go ape.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
Wow.
But wait, there's more.
Oh God.
DC's April special hits shelves on March 19th. Nowhere near April Fool's Day joke. April Fool's Day anyway. Gorilla Grodd's recent incarnation in the pages of DC's The Flash comic book series has left a void that Monsieur Mallah is more than happy to fill. Assembling a group of the DCU's most sinister simians, Mallah forms the Legion of Doom with an eye toward a world domination, but the world won't be captured that easily. Enter the all-ape jungle league. Can this team of heroic anthropods be the salvation we need, or will Malik's team of maniacal monkeys bring forth the apocalypse? DC's Ape World Special #1, banana-scented variant in all. 48 pages of the comic book goes on sale March 19th, 2024. That hurt.
That was so bad.
It was
I
horrible.
mean, I am a fan of bad puns,
Wow.
but dang.
They
And-
threw in every single one they could think of.
I mean,
Like,
even ones that
you
just
gotta
so
give it a
did not,
break.
even ones that so didn't work, but they kept, they embraced it.
So if you missed any part of this show so far, if you'd like to catch it on recap, if you'd like to hear that again, I'm sure you won't. Check out the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast, available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, courtesy of 97 and Now Productions. And we'll be back with more Pop Culture Kaboom radio show after this, so do not go anywhere. Hello, this is the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Spencer Stoner,
Woo!
Rob Nault,
Hello.
and I, Jimmy Jones. That's me. He was going to correct himself. Okay. He was going to put what I put, but okay. All right, so Dark Horse Comics.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some good stuff over there at Dark Horse Comics. And if you like prequels...
Which you don't. But,
I don't. But they've actually been doing something interesting because they've been exploring the world of Dune through comic books and doing the different various houses, the ones that aren't very big deal in the movies.
So the ones beyond Harkonnen and Atreides.
Correct. And their latest one is going to be Dune House Corino. Is the new 33-page oversized 8-issue comic book series. Comics from, Boom Studios, not Dark Horse. Oops. In March of 2024, expanding the mythology of Frank Herbert's Dune and making the third and final official prequel to Dune adapted for comics by the novelists Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. And it promises to unveil a closer look at the rising conflict between beloved characters and bitter villains. House Corino, once the deadliest house in the known universe as the Imperial family, set up the final pieces leading into the events of Dune and the fall of House Atreides. While conflicts escalated between the Fremen and the House Harkonnen on Arrakis, the Bene Gesserits keep a close eye on Jessica's pregnancy, and House Atreides takes part in a plan to seal IX's fate. IX's, I guess that's right. It's literally I and X. So it's always great to reach the grand finale. We spent the last couple of years with Boom and our artists to develop the visual interpretation of our prelude to Dune trilogy groundbreaking novels that we wrote more than 20 years ago. And now that we reached the adaptation to the final volume in comic book form, we have the characters and worlds already designed and established. Now in House Corino, it's time for everything to come together, said Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. They said it in unison. It's like, you know, they had shared the same mind. You know, like the twins from The Shining. I'm just kidding. I don't think they did. In a very real sense, these are the final days leading up to the tragic events of Dune. The final dominoes are being set up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, basically, yeah. All right, so why don't we get into some of the comic books that are being released this Wednesday, December 20th. There's only 11 days left in this year. Can you believe it?
No.
From Wednesday to 20th. Yeah, no wonder you couldn't believe it. At least here I highlight the #1 issues and or major story or anniversary issues that are being released because those are the ones that have the most value interest to collectors and investors. Don't base your buying decisions solely on my opinion. It, after all, is only my opinion. To keep this list to a minimum, I do not include in it trade paperbacks, graphic novel collections, hardcover, softcover volumes, or reprints. If you are an independent comic book company or creator and you have something coming out, please let me know by sending me an email at popculturekaboom@gmail.com. Put upcoming comics in the subject line, and include in the body of the email, put the publisher name, the title of the book or books, when the book or books will be coming out, and the issue number so I can add your book or books in the future. First up from Ablaze Publishing, Agent Number 1 with a bank-busting 10 cover variants. What a way to start out the day. American Mythology Productions, 21st Century Santa Stories Number 1 with a wallet-busting 5 cover variants. Antarctic Press has Interstellar Dust Number 1 of 4 with 2 cover variants. Bad Idea has Destroyer Number 1. Boom Studios has Animal Pound Number 1 of 4 with a wallet-busting 8 cover variants. Dark Horse Comics has Borealis Number 1. That's just at Borealis. Not Aurora, just Borealis.
Just Borealis.
DC Comics has Joker Harlequin Uncovered Number 1 one-shot with a wallet-busting 6 cover variants, and Titans Beast World Tour Central City Number 1 one-shot with 3 cover variants. I'm kind of interested now because they keep saying that World Tour, and they keep going to different places that are familiar, if you're familiar with DC Comics.
Right.
So I wonder if it's like a band. Anyway.
Where they all hit Metropolis and Gotham City and
Central City, and I'm sure they're going to go
City.
so it's a big tour, a big band tour. IDW Publishing has Godzilla Rivals, Jet Jaguar versus Megalon Number 1, one-shot with 3 cover variants, and that robot would get his butt stomped. My Little Pony Best of Fluttershy Number 1. Image Comics has Shift Number 1 one-shot with 2 cover variants. Keen Spot Entertainment has Spellweaver Number 1 with a wallet-busting 6 cover variants. Marvel Comics has Original X-Men Number 1 with 5 cover variants.
Well, original. There were originally only 5 X-Men. Maybe each variant cover is like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel.
Maybe. Or what are they considered the original X-Men? And if it was like the original X-Men, wouldn't that just be X-Men number? No, because it was the Astounding X-Men was number 1. Or Uncanny X-Men Number 1?
Nope, X-Men was just originally adjectiveless. Then it became the Uncanny X-Men. Or actually, no, I think it was Uncanny X-Men was originally. Yeah. Adjectiveless came out in the 90s, that's right.
ROM and the X-Men Marvel Tales Number 1 with 2 cover variants. Star Wars Revelations Number 1 with 4 cover variants. Scout Comics has Maze Agency Number 1 with 2 cover variants. 13 Origins Pyroclast Number 1 with 2 cover variants. And Total Party Killer Number 1 with 2 cover variants. Titan Comics has Life is Strange Forget-Me-Not Number 1 of 4 with a wallet-busting 6 cover variants. If you heard the Life is Strange before, that's probably because you've been listening to this show for a while. And we've mentioned it before because they've expanded into the game universe. So yeah. Xenoscope Entertainment has Bell Annual Apex Predator Number 1 one-shot with 4 cover variants. And Hydra Number 1 one-shot with 4 cover variants. And that is all that's coming out this week, the second to the last week of the year. All right, so BAFTA, you know what BAFTA is?
Yep.
Okay. So BAFTA decided to release a complete list of all of their best games of 2023 as a prelude to the 2024 BAFTA Games Awards. The company ran down 60 games in alphabetical order, showing off what each of them had achieved in their eyes over the course of 2023. The actual nominees, though, for these BAFTA Awards will be announced in March, followed by the awards in April. Until there are 60 games listed, I'm not going to read them all, but pretty much if it was a big game this year, it's on that list. So just go and check it out.
And it was a good year for games this year.
Starfield, the Mortal Kombat 1, what else?
Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2.
That was on that list too. I saw those.
Diablo 4.
That was on that list. Resident Evil, that remake.
Yeah, the remake of 4, yeah.
So, yeah, there's basically all the big games are on there. So, yeah.
Yep. I mean,
so
kind of have to be almost, I think.
Let's all take a moment of silence. After the past few years to try to resurrect the corpse of the Los Angeles event, the Entertainment Software Association has finally killed off E3. In true ESA fashion, the group did the bare minimum of letting people know they had decided to end the convention by posting a notice on Twitter/X that simply said, and I quote, "After more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories, GGWP. whatever that means. The news honestly doesn't come as a shock to anyone after having Sony pull out of the event in 2019 to do their own live stream event, followed by Microsoft's decision to hold all of their events at the then Microsoft Theater next door to the Los Angeles Convention Center. Many people were already declaring the event dead before 2020 came around. Then the pandemic hit, causing the event to be canceled. That trend continued every year until 2023, when the organization partnered with ReedPop to revive it. But due to several complications, the deal fell apart just before they were set to hold it, and the event was once again canceled. The ESA then said they would take 2024 off and be back in 2025. While E3 was attempting to come back, Jeff Knightley, who used to run the E3 Coliseum, split off and eventually started Summer Game Fest in 2020. That turned into a physical event for the press and content creators in 2022, harkening back to what E3 used to be before organizers made the call to allow paid ticket holders to take part in the event. A move that many say, including us, greatly impacted the charm and effectiveness of the event until its last year. While E3 failing to come back, SGF basically replaced them in the process by simply existing and holding yearly live streams. Now that E3 is done, it looks like SGF will be the summer game convention moving forward, which now begs the question, do we really need a convention to happen in the middle of summer in Los Angeles? Is it even necessary to hold 30 live streams across 4 weeks featuring hundreds of video games? The entire reason people kept gravitating to June is because of E3 and its possible return if E3 isn't around and June holds no real significance for anyone anymore. Wouldn't 2024 be a great time to change the way things are done? Period. Hopefully that'll put that's put into consideration over the next 2 months before everyone starts jam-packing June with so many announcements that they just blend together and nothing ends up sticking out anyway.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I mean, why keep, what worked in the past is obviously not working now, so you might as well start changing things up.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Crystal just tuned in too. Oh yeah, Crystal was I'm sorry, Crystal wasn't the one who said that was epic. Apic. Okay.
Apic.
Okay. All right. So here are the cons and events I was able to find going on worldwide the week of December 18th through December 24th. Big majority of them I will not be able to pronounce, so Spencer's going to be taking over the whole thing this week. I cannot stress enough that if you do not go to these events, they will stop happening or will not return to your area. So if you're thinking, I'll go next week, next month, next year, they may not happen near you ever again, period. If one or more of these are near you, go check them out. And if they are not, check your local game, hobby, and comic book shops for great events going on in your area. If you have or know of a pop culture event coming up in your area that I can add to this list, please contact me at popculturekaboom@gmail.com. Put upcoming event in the subject line, and in the body of the email, include the name of the event, the date or dates it will be running, and where it will be taking place so I can add it to my upcoming list. One little caveat. If you do send me an event, please make sure that it is far enough into the future that it is not the same day that I'm doing the radio show, because that does not work. I do them at least a week in advance to give people time to prep for them. So, take it away, Spencer.
All right, December 20th through the 22nd is Holiday Matsuri 2023 at Orlando World Center Marriott in Orlando, Florida. December 22nd is OtakuCon 2023 at the Green Screen Drive-In Cinema in Harare, Zimbabwe. December 22nd through 24th is the Winter Fury Fusion 2023. It's going to be in the Crown Plaza Shanghai Jiang Lake in Shanghai, China. And December 23rd is Night at the Ramada 2023. It'll be at the Ramada by Wyndham, South El Monte in South El Monte, California. And last but certainly not least, on December 23rd through the 24th is Comic Fiesta 2023 in the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I'm surprised there's not more overseas cons actually going on this weekend. A lot of people celebrate Christmas overseas.
Well, if not Christmas, there's many different variations on the holiday.
It's almost summer there too,
in the southern hemisphere, absolutely,
exactly.
Yeah.
So. All right, so Netmarble has launched a brand new closed beta test for Paragon the Overprime.
The Overprime?
Yeah. You guys are jumping with excitement at this one. As this one is currently an exclusive to PS5, Running all the way through January 8th, players will have a chance to experience a limited form of the game with new heroes. If you played the PC test, it will be about the same thing, with some added features they're experimenting with on console. If you want to take part, you can go to the game's website and click the form to apply for a code. What is Paragon the Overprime?
What is Paragon the Overprime?
Hey, that's a lot better, actually. Paragon the Overprime is a team-based TPS action MOBA, M-O-B-A, that
Massive
anyone
Online Battle Arena.
Can play for free on PC and will be available via PlayStation, but it won't be free, I can guarantee you that, if it's on PlayStation 5. Players are engaged in 5x5 play while working with teammates to conquer the prime battlefield. The game celebrates strategic actions and fast-paced battles by two teams aiming to eliminate the opponent's territories. Players can choose from one of the many powerful heroes, utilizing their unique skills: warrior, support, ranger, caster, tank, and assassin. This new CBT, closed beta test, adds 3 new heroes from the PC version featuring Morigish, Yin, and Marty. Additionally, based on player feedback, several changes have been made for the upcoming CBT, including an alternate D-pad layout to provide a more flexible control method, an auto-purchase feature for in-game items.
I don't like auto purchase.
No.
Wow.
That is bad, as well as various improvements to the UI and camera movements used by the controller. Joining this closed beta test will reward players with Grook's special winter skin, Red Nose, which will carry over to the live game, special emotes, and 100 Kima. During the second week of the CBT, 5 of the Winter 2022 skins will be rewarded to participants. Additional rewards are planned to celebrate the new year as well. To celebrate the game's 1-year early access, every player, including those on PC, will receive Grook's special winter skin Red Nose to celebrate the year-end season. The Agnes of Light will be decked out with the winter theme, with 5 holiday skins added as well. I just do not like playing these kinds of games.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not a big MOBA guy, but I don't know. Betas can be fun.
No, I'm not a big. I've played a couple of beta games like Star Wars, the Old Republic, SWTOR, that MMORPG that's out for EA.
Yeah.
I beta tested that thing. I was highly disappointed. But I had the statue, the Dark Malice statue, and everything that the whole big old GameCube came with.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I was so used to Star Wars Galaxies, and I'm like, oh, everything's on rails now. I can't pick a ship. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm so disappointed. This isn't my Star Wars. Yes, I sound like one of those. I did. I really did. And I don't care. Anyway, we got to take a break. And when we get back, it'll be movie time with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. And the phone lines are still open, 775-515-4141, if you want to take your shot at the trivia question this week. I'm surprised Eric hasn't taken a shot at it.
Yeah, actually, he's usually guessed by now.
Yeah, but he hasn't even taken a shot at it. I guess he doesn't.
Well, didn't he say he was Googling it? Maybe he realized he cheated and feels guilty now.
I don't know if that works that way. But anyway, we'll be back with more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show right after this. Yeah. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Each week, the film powers that be release dozens of movies, some of which you will you'll never hear about. I was just thinking about that line. He released dozens of movies, except this week. Some of which you will never hear about, except here. Each week's upcoming releases are carefully picked over from Rotten Tomatoes, and up to 5 films are selected from genres that I would watch. And those genres are action, adventure, horror, science fiction, anime, or fantasy. And that's pretty much it. With that in mind, we sit through some of the most hideous trailers ever made, and we'll read you the synopsis of each film, then give you our not-so-humble opinions. Bear in mind, we are not professional movie critics. We're just overly opinionated blowhards. But Mr. Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews is. You can catch all of Tony Sanfilippo's reviews of concerts, television shows, and movies at Filippo's Horrible Reviews. And how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, Jimmy. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Jaguars are currently losing, but that's okay.
Yeah, not bad though. Only 3 points. That's good. It is not like my Broncos last night, 42-17. Pretty ugly.
Yeah,
So,
still not the worst showing of the year, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. That I think. Well, that still goes to the Broncos, the Dolphins.
But it was close. I mean, the Chargers gave it a run.
That wasn't bad.
The Chargers-Raiders game was
really
close.
hoping the Raiders were just going to stick it just a little bit more, but they didn't.
Yeah, you'd hope that little knife in the gut there just do one more little quarter turn, but they didn't.
Just a little bit. Yeah, now they're all screaming doom and gloom because we fell to 7-7 and we're just in the hunt. But we do have 3. I want to say, I don't want to, you never can say any team's easy because any team can win. I mean, the Panthers won today.
I know.
But we do have the Patriots next on Christmas Eve, and then we have the Chargers and the Raiders. So,
I was laughing pretty hard.
The next 3.
I was laughing pretty hard this morning when I turned on the TV and saw that the Patriots were beating the Chiefs at first.
Oh,
I was
a
laughing.
good one.
I was waiting for Mahomes to just like have his head explode at that point, So, but
yeah, well, and you gotta be proud. Your crowd, I can see they have a full stadium. I'll leave this on a football note because I know we got movies. But today in Carolina, they had less than 100. I am not making this up. Less than 100 people in the stadium. Tickets were going for as low as 46 cents.
Wow,
that's pathetic. Pathetic. Yeah,
come on, people.
For national football. It's bad.
Win or lose, rain or shine, and it was raining though. It was pretty horrible weather there. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bronco fans still show up, even if the team's turd sandwich. They still pack the stadium. Just saying.
Yeah, come on.
That's
people.
how we do it down here.
Well, you know what? If they start paying for Panthers fans to fly out there, maybe they'll be able to.
Maybe. Well, they're gonna have to do something then. At that point, just open the thing and just say free. It's like a high school football game. Just come on out and check us out, And they would have, people would have seen it as their second win.
Yeah, and it's not like they're not making. It's not like they're not making their money off of the concessions there at these stadiums either.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay, so here at the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show, we do utilize a carefully crafted and patented movie rating system, which goes as follows. If it is worth seeing in a theater at full price, it is a good, not a great. That is to be determined by you if you choose to see it in a theater. If it is worth watching in a theater as a matinee or in your town's cheap theater, it is a so-so. If it's worth seeing on a streaming service or as a rental, or however you choose to watch the film while avoiding social interaction, it is a blah. And if it is deemed so awful you should wait for it to be on public television, it is considered a touch brown because FCC regulations say we can't use profanity. So, 3
no bad words here.
3 movies this week. And
Halloween 3.
I couldn't believe it, man. And even with the streaming services, there's just nothing coming out this week.
You think like they would want to fill, knowing that people are home with their families, you think you'd want to fill a little more on the streaming. I get maybe theaters, but you think you'd probably want to put out a few more movies coming out for Christmas.
Actually, good point. People are home with their families. Right? Fill that theater up with good movies.
It's like a great time to release something.
Get the family, get out of the house, away from the family. But anyway, so let's start off with the throwing a Solar. They're taking a cue from Zack Snyder. Solar. Part 1, ceasefire. One sentence synopsis, which is fine. A gang leader makes a promise to a dying friend by taking on other criminal gangs. Okay. And that's the synopsis. I have no idea what this movie is about. Some old man babbling something like a drunken sailor, and that I guess is supposed to be in English. Man, I should have turned on the YouTube subtitles. I heard something about Jurassic Park. I don't know what he was talking about. I have no idea what he was talking about. Why a crowd of mad gun-toting thugs were surrounding him in his car. Why he was acting like he was immortal and none of it mattered, or what was going on in those cutscenes, or why they mattered to whatever that old man was saying. I'll waste my time translating Nirvana lyrics to English before trying to watch this. I'm giving it a touch brown. Tony, what say you?
Oh man, I'm glad you felt the same way because when it started going, the subtitles were in Japanese or Chinese. It just is not in English. And on top of that, the film wasn't in English, so I didn't know what the heck was going on either.
Oh, see,
I wrote down
the trailer I watched was in English because the guy said it. I'd said it in simple English. I'm like, is he the Tasmanian devil? How is this even close to being English?
Well, I didn't understand a word he said. I was like, was he trying to be like Jack Nicholson, like from The Departed? Like he had like the backwards little cap and he's sitting there with all the guns on him? But I digress. This is what I jotted down. From the makers of KGF comes a foreign movie with subtitles, but they're in Japanese or Chinese. And so is the language. So who knows what's going on? So I'll make it up myself. A rebel with a bloody knuckle is a street fighter that's better than Ryu or Ken. Will he survive the underground street fighting ring, or will he lose his Intercontinental Championship? Tune in this Monday to find out on Monday Night Touch Brown.
Oh, yeah!
Brother! Yeah, Touch Brown, man. Oof.
Rob, what say you?
Sure. This, yeah. I'll tell you this. The only thing I remember is me and my wife just looking at each other going like, what? What?
Rob, I love it. You're just, yeah, sure. Okay.
It was so, I don't even know what was going on. And then, of course, the simple English was just him spouting pop culture references.
It was?
Yes. That's all he did. He was Jurassic Park. It was, I mean, he threw something in there.
So he did say Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He did say Jurassic
It was
Park,
all
yes.
it was single pop culture. I was like, I don't understand. That's where we were like, what is going on? Yeah, Touch Brown. I have no interest.
Okay, Spencer.
I love that Jimmy was like, wait, it really did?
It sounded like it. I'm like, there's no way I heard that right.
Yeah, no, it was, that's all it was pop. The Jurassic Park was like the most prominent one, but it was just all pop culture references to like obscure, like random things.
Wow,
that made
okay.
no secular like.
Okay, I will do my best to help make the trailers make sense. This is not going to help much because there wasn't much there.
Let's go, Fred.
I guess I was like the one person that was lucky enough to actually get the English subtitles on initial viewing. But the old guy's voice amused the crap out of me. It was like, I will speak this in simple English. A lion, a cheetah.
Is it a lion?
Yeah, a lion, a cheetah,
An elephant.
an elephant. Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
It was not in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Basically, he lists all those and goes, "These animals are all very dangerous." It's like, okay, except in Jurassic Park.
What the hell?
It's like, and that's because they have, and that's when he cut it off.
Good.
And all it did is show bloody knuckle guy.
Yeah.
And then the guy's running with the guns.
Yeah. And then the guys run in with the guns. It's like, that's the whole trailer.
And this trailer's been, and they're touting that this thing's been viewed 1.5 million times.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like
I think it's an Indian movie.
Well, yeah, but
There's a lot of people in India.
Yeah.
and
I can't wait for Solar Part 1.
Well, like apparently the guy was like
Can't
the
wait
guy
for
that
the
when they were
sequel.
advertising the main actor or whatever. He was like big star, like you know.
well, yeah, it was probably like an equivalent of Jean-Claude Van Damme or something.
Yeah,
for that,
so that's-
that
yeah.
neck of the woods. But
anyway,
yeah,
focus.
but anyway, the only thing that went through my head watching this entire thing is from a scene from Crocodile Dundee 2, where this guy's just sitting there drinking a beer, and a criminal comes up and goes, "Who are you?" "Well, I'm looking for a friend of mine." And it's like, "Well, you want beer?" It's like, "No, you should have brought a gun instead of a beer, mate." "I don't need a gun. I have a donk." It's like, what? A donk. And a big muscly guy comes in and punches the criminal in the face. That sounds like the entire plot of this movie. Hi, I have a big mean guy. So I'm sure it'll be a great mindless action movie, but I'm not teased enough to actually care enough. So I'm going to have to go Touch Brown too.
Wow, I just got
Oh,
your...
the streak.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I just got your Jar Jar Binks
Oh, yeah, I saw. I meant to send that to you during the commercial break. I saw that. You can't unsee it, though, right?
I'm going to try.
Hey, I was going to say, only think of that when they're not winning. Like, when they're winning, just don't think about that. But when they're sucking...
Misa not so good.
Yeah. Misa play the Ravens.
All right,
Oh,
Tony.
no, Mr. Khan be very upset.
What is next?
Okay, all right. Well, guess the next one, the two big ones this week, but this is the other one, Migration. This holiday season, Illumination, creators of the blockbuster Minions, Despicable Me, Sing, and The Secret Life of Pet comedies invite you to take flight into the thrill of the unknown with a funny, feathered family vacation like no other in the action-packed new original comedy, Migration. I don't know about action-packed, but...
Well, a bird
right.
does get hit by a bus several times.
Yeah, that Aquafina duck. Well, it's a story of ducks flying away for the winter, and it's from Illumination, who brought you the amazing Super Mario Brothers movie, Despicable Me, as well as others. I like Illumination. They do have some pretty funny stories. They have good humor, and I did chuckle at the part where the little duck was like, "What's duck la orange? It's la orange, but with you."
It's you with the orange on top.
Kind of chuckle. L'orange. Well, I definitely don't want to go to theaters to see this. I do like Illumination, and I would probably watch it at home, so I'll be nice. I'll give this one a blah.
Wow. You're a
I know.
better man than I.
I didn't think you would say it. If you said blah, I'd say hell froze over. I just wouldn't expect it from you, buddy. No offense. I know where you're going with it.
I'm starting to think
Orange.
this is actually a great segue because this is my actual what I put for this. I'm starting to think that I'm not a family-friendly, family-oriented animation kind of guy.
Nope.
The jokes seem
I
bland.
can't think of one you've said.
Yeah, the jokes seem bland, the storyline forced, and the outcomes completely predictable. Migration is another example of the current state of cookie-cutter animated comedies that have followed the same formula from the last 20 years. I'm calling them out. This kind of stuff was original when Toy Story came out, and that hasn't been original since. Come up with an original thought, please. Touch Brown. Spencer?
Oh, I do love me my animation. Illumination, I respect them in that they are an actually solid competitor to Disney. Because Disney, for the longest time, almost felt like it had a monopoly on the animated movie front.
Yep.
But this one just doesn't grab me. I mean, I might watch it because my daughter might want to watch it. I'm not sure. Because I haven't cared enough to ask, because this movie doesn't give me anything to really care about. But I like Danny DeVito, who's in it apparently, so I'll give it the benefit of that way. And Illumination has always been able to at least make something strong enough to at least make me go, huh. And if they can do that, they've earned my blah.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Wow. Okay. So I actually thought this was funny. Apparently, I was the only one out of this group. But,
apparently, we all hate ducks.
I like that duck la orange.
I thought it was funny when the duck didn't want to poop on the people overhead. I thought that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was kind of funny. That was funny. Yeah.
And then they have to wait for her to go behind the bushes. To me, I thought it was funny. My wife watched it together. We both thought it was a good movie. It looked good. So I'm going to go with the so-so. I like the Illumination movies. I own all of the ones stated here.
Okay. All right. So the highest rated one out of them so far, which brings us to the 400-pound sea monkey in the room. I'm not kidding.
Sea monkey!
Yeah, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. After failing to defeat Aquaman the first time, Black Manta wields the power of the mystic Black Triton to unleash an ancient and malevolent force. Hoping to end his reign of terror, Aquaman forges an unlikely alliance with his brother, Orm, the former king of Atlantis. Setting aside their differences, they join forces to protect their kingdom and save the world from irreversible destruction. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, for this seat, they'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Yeah.
On Monday night, touch brown, brother.
No doubt. But anyway, you know what? We only got about a minute left, so yeah, I don't know if I want to go
You'll
into
drag
this.
it out just after commercial.
Yeah, might as well just start fresh right after the
Three
break.
movies this week.
Yeah, we got 3 this week. We're blowing through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
So let's just recap real quick, in case you missed those 2.
In case you forgot.
Migration is the highest rated one so far. Rob gave it a so-so. Tony and Spencer both gave it blahs. I, of course, gave it a touch brown. Salazar, Part 1, ceasefire. Just a big brown streak from everyone because it was just confusing and nonsensical.
Yeah, but even though I love the guy's voice, or just for some reason just talk like this.
Yeah,
You know what's funny, Jimmy, is based if you read the synopsis ahead of time, which I know you don't, but you would have hated it if you understood it because it's the bad guy, rooting for a bad guy against bad people, right?
Yeah.
As a gang leader against a criminal gang. Ooh, gang warfare. Don't care.
Yeah, I really don't. So there's another reason not to see that one, but yeah, that was that was confusion beyond confusion. All right,
time.
So we were able to slide into first here, and the music's coming up. So we'll get to the 400-pound sea monkey when we come back. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. You still got that opportunity if you'd like to win tickets to it, or if you'd like a gift certificate to Dreamwell Comics. 775-515-4141. All you have to do is answer the Sport Goal Pub Quiz with Scott question, the trivia question of the week, which I had up and just disappeared. At the end of the 1964 animated classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the misfit toys are being delivered by an elf, giving them umbrellas to float down to houses below Santa's sleigh. Which misfit toy was apparently thrown to their death? Was it A, the ostrich-riding cowboy, B, the bird that swims in a fishbowl, C, the water gun that shoots jelly, D, the pink polka-dotted stuffed elephant, or E, the train with square wheels on his caboose? Tony will give us the answer when we get back. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Oh. I'll get it next time. So, Tony, at the end of the 1964 animated classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the misfit toys are being delivered by an elf, giving them umbrellas to float down to houses below Santa's sleigh. Which misfit toy was apparently thrown to their death? Was it A, the ostrich riding a cowboy? Or was it the ostrich riding cowboy? I don't get that.
I think we'll go with ostrich riding cowboy.
Okay.
Since it was the 60s special.
All right. Or B, the bird that swims in a fishbowl. C, the water gun that shoots jelly. D, the pink polka-dotted stuffed elephant. Or E, the train with square wheels on his caboose.
That is a fantastic question by Scott. I love it. I don't know it, but I'll take a random guess. I'm going to just say B, the bird.
Wow.
I don't know if it's
All right, we will tell you whether or not you were...
I just text you the answer.
Whether you were correct.
Okay, I'm gonna
the
show. Ooh, very interesting.
Uh-huh. All right, so we are talking
Call
movies.
in, see if you can get it and win, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. We're talking movies with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. If I can find the right page. There it is. Okay.
Somewhere.
So, and here's the synopsis for the 400-pound sea monkey in the room this week, which is Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. After failing to defeat Aquaman the first time, Black Manta wields the power of the mystic Black Trident to unleash an ancient... I was going to say something else. Ancient and malevolent force. Hoping to end his reign of terror, Aquaman forges an unlikely alliance with his brother Orm, the former king of Atlantis. Setting aside their differences, they join forces to protect their kingdom and save the world from irreversible destruction. All right, so Aquaman was basically unemployed 4 years ago. Now he's the king of the biggest CGI world that looks worse than a video game and not a world you can believe in. It looks so fake, it's not even funny. With some bizarre Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones goofy storyline that is a confusing mess, visuals that are a CGI vomit fest, but all in all, a fitting end to Zack Snyder's DCEU, and quite frankly, the last blockbuster film that will end the string of half-hearted, written garbage films of 2023 with a resounding thud of disappointment. I'm giving it a touch brown. Tony, what say you?
Oh, man. Good old DC, right? So, the first Aquaman, I went in with low expectations. The visual effects were terrible, and the story was not that great. Somehow, it's gotten not any better. The CGI effects look terrible. It's one of those failed Snyderverse movies, and this is probably going to be the end of this whole Snyderverse DC thing. I don't think you're going to get any more Aquamans with Jason Momoa after this. But, you know, we don't have a lot of movies coming out. I got a feeling the action's got to be better than The Flash, right? I mean, they're on par with the same CGI. You know, I'm definitely not rushing or going to the theater to see this. But I would watch it at home just to see it. They've all been disappointing. I don't know why I would really torture myself, but I'll be nice. I'm going to give it a blah.
Okay.
HBO Max, man. Or, sorry, just Max now.
Oh, yeah. True. All right, Rob, what say you?
Well, I'm like the lone horse again on this one, but I enjoyed the first one.
Woo!
I own the first one. I watch it. I like it. This one seems enjoyable to me as well. Less Amber Heard, the better. So yay.
Oh, true. Yes, no Amber Heard. That's a plus right there.
I do like kind of like the subplot that he has.
You
a
said
baby.
lone horse and then herd.
Yeah,
in the same. I see a theme here.
Yes,
are you going to gallop to the theater?
The seahorses.
I'm here for Aquaman.
Actually, would not be uncommon in this town.
Especially where the theater is. Truth.
Yeah, but no, I think it looks like it's going to be just like the first one, enjoyable, to me, anyways. To me, it's going to be a good.
All right, Spencer.
The first good today.
Yeah. All right, Rob. Let me assure you, you are not the lone horse in the room on this one. I did enjoy the first Aquaman. I have enjoyed more of the Snyderverse than not. Mm-hmm. Okay. I know it has not been perfect, but there's been more elements that I have enjoyed than not enjoyed in the Snyderverse, and I really like Jason Momoa, and I really liked how he embraced being Aquaman and stuff. But you know, if there's anybody who was born to be Lobo, and the way he's acting in this movie like almost proves it, because unfortunately, Jason Momoa's Aquaman is suffering from the same malady that Chris Hemsworth's Thor was suffering from in the last couple of Thor sequels. Stupid main character-itis, where apparently you get dumber the more powerful or longer you've been in a place of authority. And in the Flash, I mean, he was really dumb in that little after credit scene in the Flash. It was really funny. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you can only play the fish out of water thing, in this case almost literally, for so long before it gets a little tiresome, because you know he's been the king of Atlantis for how many years now? You think that he'd at least know some of the ins and outs of how things work at this point, but again they go right back to like, oh, I don't know how anything works in the underwater
under
world.
The sea.
Yeah, and but again, less Amber Heard the better. I agree wholeheartedly there, and even if he is acting like a complete and total dullard, Momoa is very charming, and I'm actually looking forward to him moving on to hopefully maybe like Lobo in the James Gunn DCU.
That would be cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So whatever he's going to move on to, I'm good. I'm down for. So he has enough charm that I would be willing to watch this as probably a matinee. So I'm going to give it a good so-so.
All right. Well, the 400-pound sea monkey lived up to its reputation and gained the highest mounts this week.
Yeah, I think it hit.
With
I think
Rob
it got
getting
every.
It hit everything tonight.
Rob gave it a good. Spencer gave it a
touchdown.
so-so. Tony gave it a blah, and I gave it a touchdown. I flatlined this week. But these three, I did.
Well,
They weren't very
when
good,
you get a
so-
bump above touch brown, it seems to be getting more and more rare these days.
Yeah. So to recap, Salazar, Part 1, Ceasefire, All Touch Browns, Migration, Rob give it a so-so, Tony and Spencer Blas, Touch Brown from me, Aquaman, Touch Brown from me, Good from Rob, so-so from Spencer, and a blah from Tony. Next week, one movie is all that they have slated, The Goldfinger, which you'll probably get from me, the middle finger. But anyway... So, Tony, this is our last show with you because you will be out next week, and you'll also
I'll be
New Year's
traveling.
Eve. Yeah,
I'll be South Dakota bound to see my sister, so that should be fun.
So you're going to be gone Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. You won't be doing live shows with us,
Correct.
so we won't see you until
But-
January.
If you still send me the trailers, I'd still like to watch them and send you my thoughts. You don't have to read my comments on them.
You mean
can
the
just say,
trailer?
"Give it
Trailer.
a-"
Yeah.
Oh, it's one Whopper next week. We got a record one.
Yeah, just the Goldfinger. That's it. That's all it's called. That's why it's like Aquaman is the last movie. Last big
Goldfinger.
it's like
The Goldfinger.
So
I like gold, but not this movie.
So, since we won't talk to you until January of next year, let's cover
what's
some
of
ground.
the missions before then? Yeah.
Before the 9 minutes, or actually 8 minutes are up here. Let's cover a little bit of ground. So 2023, overall feel is how movies went this year.
Yeah. Do you want to know what I thought of it all, or do you want to know?
Well,
what I
did
liked
you feel
the
it was a
most?
good year for movies this year? So-so?
No.
No.
Nah, so. And the reason why I feel like because of the strike, I feel like we missed out on a lot of potential good ones that'll come out next year. I don't know. I just didn't feel like a lot came out this year. There were some good movies for sure, but not as much as in past. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the COVID year a bit when it came to movies.
I know, which is odd.
A little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what would you consider some of the better ones that came out this year?
Yeah, geez, off the top of my head.
I figure
Super Mario Bros.
the ones
actually-
that actually stick to the top of your head are probably some of the better ones.
Well, the Illumination Super Mario Brother movie back in April, I really love that movie. I thought it was fantastic. That's one that popped in my head. It was really disappointing in the sense of the Marvel movies this year. I did like Guardians. Volume 3 was great. I really liked that. Just was disappointed with Ant-Man. I remember I was really excited for that, and it was kind of so-so. Thought the Marvel shows were definitely a little on the disappointing side this year. When it comes to that, those are just some of the things. I don't know. Like, we've had a whole year. Nothing really sticks out movie-wise. I need some triggers here. Maybe I have to fire up the old Google
let's see,
machine here.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, that came out this summer, wasn't it, or was that last summer?
I don't remember.
No, it came out in February, March of this year.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my higher end ones because to get a good fantasy movie these days is pretty rare.
Yeah, I've heard that was really good. I actually still have not seen that.
Okay, definitely. Okay, I highly recommend it then, especially if for nothing else, the scene with the dragon.
Okay. Well, this isn't to Spencer.
Okay.
We got to get Tony in here because we won't be talking to him next week. So.
Haunted Mansion, Disney's Haunted Mansion. That was pretty good this year.
So with Aquaman being the last of the DCEU movies, do you think we're not going to see anything from James Gunn until probably about mid-2024. And the first things we're going to get are probably the animated series that are going to be on Max, that are going to be tying in with his new DCU. Are you looking forward to seeing how James Gunn is going to be moving forward? Do you think it'll be better than what they put out with Zack Snyder?
I think better. I think it's going to have a lot of high expectations, so I think a lot of people are going to expect it to be super fantastic right away. And I think it's going to be like Marvel. You're going to have some really good ones out there. I think the Superman reboot should be really good. I think that's actually going to be pretty good. I think the whole having the different verses, like how there is going to be another Joker, there's going to be another Batman. The sequels to the ones that just came out. Mm-hmm. I think that starts to get a little confusing. I'd like it to all just kind of be in one verse versus, well, this one's not really in the gun universe. It's in this one, but I think he's going to do really good with it. I have pretty high hopes that he can make him entertaining because DC has some really cool properties that I'd love to see done well.
Yeah, I'd like to see any DC property.
They have really good
well.
stuff. Yeah.
Quite honestly, after this last crop.
Yeah, because there really is some good stuff. Like that Flash. I would say this year that was one of my biggest disappointments. The Flash looks so good, and they did the right thing in drawing everybody back with Michael Keaton. I mean, that was like the big sell for me. I was like, okay, well, the Flash is a cool character. And you're bringing Michael Keaton back? How awesome is that? But then the way, oh, man, that horrible running scene, like when he's running, is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
They did it
that was a big disappointment.
You know why it was disappointing is because they do it so well on the TV show.
Yeah.
And then it was so terrible in the movie. It was like, seriously? Like, the TV show has such a lesser budget and it looked so much better.
If they could have used the Flash from the TV show as an alternate, and would have been so much better, right?
Yeah.
So much better.
Well, I just hope that, if James Gunn going forward, the characters are more closely represented to how they are in the comic book.
Would like that as well.
That is one thing. One odd thing about the Flash. In the comic books, he's this blonde guy. And he's never been blonde in anything live action.
No.
It's weird.
It's true.
So, and another funny thing
No more Ezra Miller would be great.
I think we're guaranteed that.
I didn't like him as the Flash the minute I saw him as the Flash. So they were giving him his own movie, and I was like, oh, man. So...
The grunts, right?
He was an abomination to the character. I mean, the character itself, if you read DC Comics, the Flash is not a bumbling oaf. And I don't know why, if somebody's supposedly super smart, they have to play him as a social misfit, bumbling idiot all the time. It's like any character from anything. If they're super smart, they're socially misfitted.
Inept. Yep.
Completely inept at doing anything completely normal correctly. And it's just a horrible.
It's to give them their flaw.
No, they have their flaws. You don't have to do these stupid stereotypes is basically what it is. So it's just it drives me up a wall. And he just went over the top with it and it just drove me up a wall. But anyway, sir, we won't.
But next year, some good ones coming out, right?
Deadpool 3. That's the only one you're looking forward to.
Deadpool 3?
Dune 2?
Ghostbusters. I'm looking forward to the next Ghostbusters. I really am. I'm stoked for that. That and Deadpool 3. Two ones I have high hopes next year.
The only grievance I have with the from the trailer of the new Ghostbusters that's coming out, Patton Oswalt.
That seems to be the most common complaint most people have about the new Ghostbusters movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Patton Oswalt seems to be the big sticking point for people.
Wow. Okay. Nice to know I'm not alone on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I would say that too, a little there. But I'm excited to see what they do with that. I really enjoyed Afterlife. I'm excited to see what the next one is.
Yeah.
Frozen Kingdom, Frozen Empire?
Frozen Empire.
Yeah, should
Empire.
Should have just been Ghostbusters on Ice.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Coming soon, Ghostbusters on Ice. We're bringing Harold Ramis back, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Baker's not dead. He's on ice. Summer 2024.
Oh, boy. I know how he's going to start out his review of it next time when we get to that movie next year.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, and I will be more consistent with reviews next year. I was not very good with those this year. I started out good, and then the movies just kind of stopped, and I kind of just
Well,
You
yeah.
went with-
When you have nothing to review, it's kind of hard to just put out
Yeah, kinda
consistent
hard.
reviews.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of those
and then I saw
concerts.
concerts, and I'm like, I'm gonna write about concerts, but then I
Stop
geek
going.
out about it, I do it, and then I move on, and I'm like, okay, well, the show's done, like it's past. Like, who's gonna go see it now?
All right. Well, we're past you, but it's still going on in the country, and people would like to hear
This
about
is
concerts. All right, sir.
I'll get better in 2024 with that.
Well, since we won't talk to you, you have a Merry Christmas. You have a Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas, fellas! Happy New Year! I look forward to our show in the beginning of 2024.
All right, sir.
Absolutely.
We'll talk to you in January. Everybody else, we'll be talking
Adios, amigos.
We'll be talking with author Stephen H. Provost next about his new book that came out on Friday. So more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. His latest book is a collaboration with his wife, Sharon Provost. Please welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show, Mr. Stephen H. Provost. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm all right. So we haven't talked in a while. What you been up to?
Well, I've been up to a number of things, but most recently it's the Christmas Nightmares Eve book that I just released on Friday. It's a series of short stories, horror-based stories, and it's a sequel to a previous book that I published called Nightmares Eve. And this one is different in that I worked with my wife Sharon on it. She has 7 stories in it, and I have 9 stories, plus a bonus excerpt. But she's actually contributed probably more than I did, because one of her stories is a full novella.
Wow. So this is a pretty thick book.
Yes, it's over 300 pages.
Wow.
Wowzers.
And it's available now. I assume Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
It's available on Amazon exclusively right now, and and as a Christmas present for your listeners tonight, if you're on Amazon tomorrow and you want the Kindle version, you can get it for free.
Oh, excellent.
Wow. So be on Amazon.com tomorrow. Look up Stephen H. Provost. It is actually spelled Provost. So,
Yeah.
just so everybody knows. And the synopsis for the book goes as follows. What happens to bad little boys at Christmas time? They get turned into coal. No, I'm kidding. I added that part in there. Do ghosts go home for the holidays? What happens when one of Santa's elves comes back from Costa Rica with an infection caused by a mysterious bite? Okay, this is getting good. How far will a desperate author go to meet a Christmas deadline?
Wait a minute. Do you have a camera in my writing studio, sir?
He didn't say stop playing with the Legos. He didn't put that in there. So.
Oh, okay, then no. Okay.
But apparently I got the camera in your honor. Anyway, those are just some of the questions posed in this new volume of Twist and Terror, perfect for the long and moonless nights of winter, when candlelight fails and fitful dreams turn frightful. Flights of fancy and tales of whimsy are interspersed among the night terrors, a welcome but brief respite from your growing unease. You can feel it now, tugging at the corners of your comforter as you nestle all snug in your bed. Is it only your imagination, or is it really the boogeyman waiting for the lights to go out so he can seize you, or a serial killer stalking you, sizing you up to become his next prized trophy? There's enough fear and foreboding here to scare the Christmas stockings off even the jolliest old elf. I wouldn't want to see that, quite honestly. Well, welcome, dear friends, to Christmas Nightmares Eve, when time stands still at the witching hour between, I can't pronounce that word. You're going to have to help me out, Mr. Author.
Krampusnacht.
Okay. And St. Nicholas Day, and leaves you stranded, helpless between the waking world and oblivion. Accept your fate. There's no escape for you now. Not even a Christmas miracle can save you. That's what you got to do. Okay, so 9 stories by you, 7 by Sharon, one of which is a novella, which sounds rather lengthy. And it's available exclusively at Amazon.com, and you can get the Kindle version for free if you're on Amazon.com tomorrow, Monday, the 18th. So everybody listening, if you want to partake in the free Kindle version. So you did that. I know you had an upcoming event, or I believe that was yesterday.
Yes, that was yesterday. We were at the Brewery Arts Center for a book signing.
How'd that go?
It went really well. I really enjoyed meeting people. Actually, Sharon was the one who was more involved with that, so she can speak to it better than I can.
Oh, okay. But you were there. You enjoyed, and actually, is this since she's contributed to this this anthology of stories? Does this mean that you guys are going to be working more hand in hand, come with future collaborations?
Yes, we definitely are. We have, I think I counted 8 or 9 projects for the next coming year. She's the COO of my publishing company, and I run the creative side of it. She runs the business side of it. So she also contributes short stories and potentially a novel, and she has a nonfiction work in the hopper for next year as well, also Christmas themed.
Oh, okay. Any other kind of themed or books coming up in the next year for, like, say, Valentine's Day? That almost kind of hurt to say. Easter or
nothing that soon, but we're looking at a possible Halloween 3rd volume of the Nightmares Eve series. So stay tuned for that. That's something that we already have some ideas for. I'm also working on my highway books. We'll have. I'm working on one on Highway 95, a historical tour of tour guide for Highway 95 here in Nevada, and also 2 other highway books out here in the West that we'll be doing research for. So we're pretty busy.
Very busy. So it sounds like 2024 is going to be off to a very busy start for you in Dragon Crown Books Limited. So about 8 or 9 projects. So that means that you plan on putting out at least 8 or 9 books here in next year. Is Dragon Crown Books currently accepting submissions from authors?
Very, very limited. I have one of the projects that I'm working on I can't really speak to, but it is another collaboration with somebody outside of our immediate family here. And I have put out this past year a book by a man named Ken Sutherland, who was in our ACES anthology. If you remember, I may have told you about that. It's an anthology of 25 Northern Nevada writers. And he was one of them who put out a story in that. And it was one of 3 finalists for the John Steinbeck Award, that story. And it was the first story he'd ever published.
Wow, congratulations
and
to
he
him.
Subsequently published or wrote a book called Balance, the 200-year journey of Andrew Crawford, which is a science fiction time travel body hopping type story in the mode of Quantum Leap. And it was his first novel, and he asked me to publish that, so I published that for him as well.
Interesting. So with do you think there's enough horror for this time of year? Do you think that the horror aspect of this time, because if you go back to like Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, there's always the theme of that goes to Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas future, blah blah blah. Do you think that and there's been numerous kind of versions of that kind of theme? Do you think that for some reason, is there a reason why people gravitate to horror around this time of year? Is it because of the winter and the cold and all of that, or?
Well, many of the Christmas traditions that are now somewhat watered down were originally kind of scary. Krampus was one of the characters that would be kind of an alter ego of Santa Claus for bad children. And there are several of these characters in old folk tales that we can pull from, and we didn't pull from nearly as many as we thought we might. And Sharon, would you like to talk a little bit about some of the folklore? Because she's here with me.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my stories regards Frau Perchta, which is folklore that comes out of like Austria and Germany, referring to a witch that makes sure that you keep your house clean, you make her porridge on the shining night, and have all your flax spun. And if you don't, you will pay a dear price. You will be disemboweled and filled with rocks and twigs.
What?
Yeah, she's pretty hardcore.
So if you don't offer her some weird old lady porridge, she'll gut you like a pig.
Exactly. So I think there's lots of scary stories to go around to make you, appreciate everything you've gotten over the years.
Wow. Okay. So Dragon Crown Books. So you guys are getting out there and getting some stuff done. I hope that Dragon Crown Books grows a lot bigger in the near future. I hope 2024 is a very successful year for you guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so where do you see the Christmas Nightmares Eve going, though? You said right now it's currently exclusive at Amazon.com. What's next for it, though? Will it be actually put out into print in a local, in brick and mortar stores, or what's going on with that?
We hope so. I've got a number of books currently at local brick and mortar stores like Grassroots up in Reno, and here at the Purple Avocado, and at some of the museums. Some of my nonfiction is at several of the museums, such as the Nevada State Museum here, and also the what used to be the Nevada Day Store. Now it's just the Nevada Gift Shop, I think it's called. So I have my books in a number of places. One of the places where I do have some of my fiction is Luminary down in Gardnerville. They have Nightmares Eve down there. So I'm hoping maybe they'll pick this up, fingers crossed. But we all have physical copies of all of our books at the events that we do, and we're taking a little bit of a break because it's after Christmas now, but we're going to be ramping up again in the spring, and we'll be out there selling books. We'll be at Pop Culture Kaboom in September, and you'll certainly be able to get it there. And we have... we do have it in print. It is in print on Amazon as well. So if you want to get it in print, you can get it in print there too. So it just came out, and we're definitely hoping to get wider distribution for it.
So as the whole concept of some of the imagery that's painted from the description for the novel or for this anthology book kind of paints a very vivid images. I was wondering if there's any chance that maybe in the near future, since Dragon Crown Books is now official, collaborating with, say, like artists and creating like graphic novels based on some of the stories.
I would definitely be open to that. I'm not a part of that universe, so to speak, right now, so it would have to be something that I would be introduced to, and I'm always open to collaborations, and that's something that I would definitely be open to, but I don't know how to get into it yet, so I can't say I've explored it.
Okay, well, something to shoot for in 2024, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, is there a website set up for Dragon Crown Books?
There is. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow me as an author on Facebook. I have an author website that has many of my books on there. It's just StephenHProvo.com. I don't have a Dragon Crown Books website per se yet, but that's something that we're going to be working on. Sharon will be working on some of the technical end of it because she's the tech whiz in the family. And so we're definitely looking to expand and put up different avenues of distribution and ways you can get in touch with us.
Okay. And one last thing to touch on real quick. You are the founder, administrator, and editor at Aces of Northern Nevada. Just to touch base real quick again with everybody, what exactly is Aces of Northern Nevada?
This is an online bookstore hub that you can go to and you can investigate. There are now 52 local authors who have their books up. It's set up like a bookstore by category, so you can go looking for mysteries, science fiction, horror, fantasy, history, whatever you're looking for, you can look for it by category. You can also meet the authors there. There's a little bit about each one of them on the Meet the Authors page. And you can also find the bookstores in your area that carry their books. But there are links to their page is where you can buy the books, whether it's on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whether they have their own author page. You can just click through the JPEG image of their book cover, and that'll take you right to where you can get their books.
So with having 52 authors now part of Aces of Northern Nevada, congratulations on that. Will there be like an Aces of Northern Nevada type of book fair or book fest coming up in 2024 where someone can meet all of the authors?
That's something we're looking into. We don't have any concrete plans yet. We had the other place where we were selling books this last weekend. Sharon was down here in Carson. I was up in Reno, and interestingly enough, there were 7 authors there at this Reno Public Market signing, and 6 of them were part of ACES. So it was almost a de facto ACES convention, just because there are so many local authors who are becoming part of this. And you can find several authors. The previous week, we were at the Sparks Museum, and there was another ACES author. Jade Griffin was there, and so it's becoming a quite popular venue for authors to help get their works out.
Awesome. Well, I know Jade Griffin. She's been on the show a couple of times, and she's also a game creator, too, so she's a really cool person.
Yes.
So, all right, sir. Well, we are about to hit a hard break. I appreciate you coming on, talking about Christmas Nightmares Eve. It is available now. If you'd like to check out more, you can go to Stephen H. Provost, Provost.com, and check out all of his books. Dragon Crown Books is Limited is on Facebook, as well as Stephen H. Provo is on Facebook as well. When he posts, I do put it in the Pop Culture Boom news feed on Facebook, so if you'd like to go and check them all out. And if you are a local author to Northern Nevada and you'd like to be a part of ACES, they are also on the Facebook, and I also do post when they post, when they are put stuff up that I can post. Because a lot of
and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
A lot of it just says send message. It just says you can like it and comment and send message. And I'm like, well, I want to repost it. Where's the share button? But anyway. Well, sir, you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I wish you well on all of your ventures. And I look forward to talking to you in the new year. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Boom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Our apologies to Mr. Stephen H. Provo. I apologize for the top of the hour break, or the 8:20 break, just kind of cut him off there.
Yeah, so hard breaks we just can't stop.
Yeah, we can't stop them, unfortunately. They just kind of roll over everything. So I do apologize to him. Again, you can go and you can find him on the Facebook, and you can also find his company, Dragon Crown Books Limited, also on the Facebook, as well as Aces of Northern Nevada. Just do a little search on the Facebook page for that, and with the little, what is that, magnifying glass. Just do a search for Aces of Northern Nevada, Dragon Crown Books, or Stephen H. Provo, which is spelled Provost. If you'd like to go and check out all of his books, in fiction and nonfiction, StephenHProvo.com. Lots of good stuff there as well, and also the Aces of Northern Nevada website, as is, like you said, a book hub. So you can go and check out a lot of Northern Nevada authors, 52 at this point, and hopefully more on the way. Spencer.
Yes. I know.
He actually has 2 books right now that are currently free with Amazon, with Kindle Unlimited.
Oh,
excellent.
Kindle Unlimited. Look at you doing the research that I don't do.
So you don't have to wait. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you don't have to wait till tomorrow.
That's true. All right. So this month has been loaded with news regarding new Pokemon trading card game products coming in the first quarter of 2024. And fans are likely to say this is the strongest announcement so far. The Palladia Adventures Chest, available March 1st, 2024, features a new illustration rare and a Palladian starter getting its first ever EX. This product includes 6 booster packs, 7 foil promo cards, 1 sheet of stickers, 1 mini portfolio, 1 squishy Pikachu toy. 5 of the promo cards are reprints from Scarlet and Violet sets, while 2 of them are new SV Black Star promos. The 2 new SV Black Star promos exclusive to this product are a Pikachu illustration rare drawn by somebody I can't pronounce, and a Spirigatu EX illustration rare promos are mostly held for elite trainer boxes. So seeing this Pikachu show up like this is quite a surprise. It's also surprising considering neither the Pikachu illustration rare nor Spirigatu EX from this product have been seen in Japan yet.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, there you
You'd
go.
figure
So,
Japan would get everything first.
an exclusive that Japan didn't get, which is very surprising.
Right?
So the team at Naughty Dog has announced that they have put an end to one of their projects.
Oh, what project?
The Last of Us Online has been canceled. Didn't even know they had an online game, MMORPG anyway. The team posted a notice on their website, which I will read to you in a moment, letting fans know of the decision. The TLDR is that the amount of resources needed to run the game would have meant a dynamic change in the studio, and they choose to focus on single-player narrative games rather than become a studio just working on a live multiplayer title. Hopefully this means we should be expecting some kind of news on The Last of Us Part 3 in the near future, since we're guessing all resources for the online title will probably be now shifting towards making that game. And here's that notice that was posted. We realize many of you have been anticipating news about the project we've been calling The Last of Us Online. There's no easy way to say this. We've made the incredibly difficult decision to stop development on that game. We know this news will be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us factions community, who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studio as we were looking forward to putting it in our hands. We wanted to share with you some backstory of how we came to this decision. The multiplayer team has been in pre-production with this game since we were working on The Last of Us Part 2, crafting an experience we felt was unique and had tremendous potential. As the multiplayer team iterated on their concept for The Last of Us Online during this time, their vision crystallized, the gameplay got more refined and satisfying, and we were enthusiastic about the direction in which we were heading. In ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service games studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that had definitive Naughty Dog's heritage. We are immensely proud of everyone at the studio that touched this project. The learnings and investments in technology from the game will carry into how we develop our projects and will be invaluable in the direction we are headed as a studio. We have more than one ambitious brand new single-player game that we've worked on here at Naughty Dog, and we cannot wait to share more about what comes next when we're ready. Until then, we're incredibly thankful to our community for your support throughout the years.
So do you think that's subtly hinting at Last of Us Part 3?
Or just an excuse for...
Well, they're supposed to have a remake of The Last of Us Part 1 coming out, too.
And 2 again.
Yeah, so who knows what...
If they do, I can guarantee you that Part 3 will probably come out about the same time as Season 2 of the TV
more than
series.
likely.
Yeah, probably.
5 years from now, when everybody's forgotten about the first year of it, first season. So, back in September... This is how old this story is. No, I'm serious. Back in September 2020, the news hit that Seth MacFarlane, Stephen Curry... You know who Stephen Curry is?
That basketball player?
Yes. And now late original series executive producer Norman Lear were teaming up for an animated version of the groundbreaking 70s sitcom Good Times.
An animated version of Good Times.
I'm not making this up. For
I know
Netflix.
mine.
Exactly. In the updated take, Good Times follows the Evans family as they navigate today's world and contemporary social issues as the original did years ago. The animated series looks to demonstrate the belief that with the love of family, we can keep our heads above water. A little more than 3 years later, really a little more, we have a major update to pass along, finally. The 10-episode series has tapped J.B. Smoove, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Jay Farrow to lead the voice cast of the adult animated series. So 3 years later, they're just now coming out with voice actors. Smoove and Brown are set to as the show's central couple, Reggie and Beverly, with Farrow taking on the role of one of their sons, Junior, running for 6 seasons on CBS from 1974 to 1979. The Mike Evans and Eric Monte created series was developed and executive produced by Lear, starting as a spin-off of Lear's sitcom Maude. Really? The series, I know that The Jeffersons was a spin-off of Good Times. So I didn't know that.
Oh,
The Jeffersons were a
spin-off
spin-off
of
Good
All in
Times.
the Family.
Yeah, they were all in the family.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because he was their neighbor first.
You bite my neighbor.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is the guy who played George Jefferson, they always had him in mind for that role of George Jefferson, but he was always not available. So they kept mentioning him, but never showing him on the show until they could finally get him off of Broadway.
Okay. And where was I? Okay. Something popped up on the screen. Irrelevant. That is Maude. The series was television's first African-American two-parent family sitcom focusing on the day-to-day lives of Florida and James Evans. Really? Her name was Florida?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And their 3 children, in inner city Chicago. Good Times starred John Amos, Esther Roll, Jeanette Dubois, Ralph Carter, Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Stennis, Janet Jackson.
Yep, she played Penny.
And more. Lear's Act 3 Productions, Curry's Unanimous Media, McFarlane's Fuzzy Door, and Sony Pictures TV are developing the project with Renata Shepard. Set as showrunner, previous showrunner Carl Jones serves as an executive producer alongside Lear and Brent Miller from Act 3 Productions, Curry, Eric Payton, and Jerome Smith via Unanimous, and McFarlane and Erica Higgins via Fuzzy Doors. Sony Pictures Television will be producing. Yay! Why is it taking them 3 years?
Well,
actually, plus.
Yeah, probably doing a lot
of development.
Yeah, and they have to design the characters and stuff and update everything, which is, and then got to see if actors are actually going to be willing to do that, and then see if they can get any of the old actors to at least come back for cameos.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't do any of that. They just announced. They just now announced who they're going to be voicing the main characters.
Yeah, but
3 years later.
Yeah, but that's stuff that they've
been
doing.
They've reached that part of development that they're able
3
to cast.
3 years later. Wow.
It takes a long time to do to initially start the animated shows.
I guess.
Well, yeah, because unlike a live action show where you go, oh, it's set in Chicago. Okay, well, we can look in Chicago for sets and stuff. With animated stuff, yeah, even if it's set in a real world place, you have to design everything to fit the style of the show from the ground up. I mean, every aspect has to be designed from the ground up.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't take that long with the computers they have nowadays.
Well, not yet, anyway. They haven't gotten that AI that good yet, apparently. So,
a new trailer for Echo has arrived, giving fans their newest look at the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe entry. In it, Marvel pulls no punches on the content of the series, with plenty of warnings of the show's TVMA rating featured throughout. The trailer also reveals a change in the show's release date. Instead of debuting on both Disney Plus and Hulu on Wednesday, January 10th, all 5 episodes of the show will now hit the server on Tuesday, January 9th.
Yep,
one day early.
Well, yeah,
they're doing It's at 7 p.m. So it actually rolls out globally at exactly midnight around all the little so it hits every single country at exactly the same time.
Ooh, okay. Because of the show's tone, Marvel Studios has developed a banner such shows will live under. As part of a press event earlier this month, the Burbank-based outfit has officially launched Marvel Spotlight, a label that will feature projects less connected to the extended franchise with other MCU entries. Marvel Spotlight gives us a platform to bring more grounded, character-driven stories to the screen, and in the case of Echo, focusing on street-level stakes over larger MCU continuity. Marvel's head of streaming, Brad Winderbaum, explained at the event, just like comics fans didn't need to read Avengers or Fantastic Four to enjoy a Ghost Rider Spotlight comic, Ghost Rider had his own comic, and they didn't have to read fantasy. Anyway, our audience doesn't need to have seen other Marvel series to understand what's happening in Maya's story, other than the appearance of Daredevil and a Kingpin. Marvel's upcoming Wonder Man series is also expected to be released under the Marvel Spotlight banner. Wonder Man will be under the new Marvel Spotlight series banner, which are shows that are standalone series and not part of the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. A report from Deadline earlier this month. Ed.
Yeah, we just saw a new promo for it today where they reminded you that you have to make sure that your settings are set to TVMA.
Ooh,
in order to be able, yeah.
That'll be interesting. Did you guys watch actually? One of you guys, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Wasn't it you that didn't see Godzilla?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. How about Blue Eye Samurai? Did you see that?
No.
Not yet. It's on my to-watch list, though.
All right. Well,
I heard good things about it.
It's different. It's interesting. Blue Eye Samurai has been such a hit with Netflix that a season 2 has been announced to be in the works. Blue Eye Samurai made its debut with Netflix earlier this fall as one of the most distinct animated releases of the year overall, and has been steadily taking over best of the year conversations. It's been such a hit, in fact, that it's no real surprise to find out that Netflix is continuing with the second season of the series, which will probably be make it even more popular before they completely end it. I added that part, and that's not anymore.
Yeah, but they do have priors, so.
Yes, they do. While a release date or further details about the new season have yet to be announced, Netflix has released a special announcement trailer. Blue-Eyed Samurai series creators, executive producers, and writers Amber Noizumai and Michael Green said the following about the Season 2 announcements in an official statement with Netflix. When we started this project, we made a commitment to take this very personal story set in Edo period Japan and bring it to life in the most authentic and beautiful way possible. Our animators, historians, musicians, martial artists, and voice cast made this a reality beyond our expectations. The statement began, "We are thankful to our entire team and to our viewers from all over the world who have shown such passion for Mizu and her path of revenge. Mizu has a lot more blood to spill." Okay. We are deeply grateful to our incredible partners at Netflix for letting the journey continue. You can currently catch up with Blue-Eyed Samurai's first 8 episodes, now streaming with Netflix. Yay! There's more to it, but I can't get to it. And with that, it is time for another break. When we get back, more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. We still have 20 minutes if you'd like to win either a gift certificate from Dreamwell Comics or 2 tickets to see the advanced screening of Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, or get the Wonka Concession Collector's Gift Pack. All you have to do is call 775-515-4141 and try your hand at the trivia question. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show coming up. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. So, have you played the game Death Stranding?
No, but I watched my brother-in-law and sister play it.
Okay, well, Death Stranding is coming to the big screen.
Okay, I'm not shocked with Norman Reedus being the main character.
I don't know if they're going to actually have him as the main character. They didn't say anything about that, I don't think. A24 has announced that they are partnering with the iconic Hideo
Kojima
to bring this game to theaters. A24 was born into this world about 10 years ago. Their presence is singular within the industry. They are like no other. The films they are delivering to the world are high in quality and very innovative. Okay. I've been attracted to their creations, and they have been inspired, and they have inspired my own work. Their innovative approach to storytelling aligns with what Kojima Productions has been doing for the last 8 years. Now we are making a Death Stranding movie together. There are a lot of game adaptation films out there, but what we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game. The intention is that our audience will not only be fans of the games, but our film will be for anyone who loves cinema.
Yeah, Kojima games are always very cinematic and really freaking weird. So they could work really well.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have Norman Reedus in it.
Oh yeah, but still, if Kojima is involved, it's going to be interesting. Love it or hate it, it will be interesting.
We are creating a Death Stranding universe that has never been seen before, achievable only through the medium of film. It will be born, said Kojima in a statement. A24 just keeps adding to an impressive...
caller.
Oh, okay. Hello, caller. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Crystal from Topaz.
Hi, Crystal from Topaz. How are you?
I thought I'd ready to give this Sporkle challenge a go.
All
right. So at the end of the 1964 animated classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the misfit toys are being delivered by an elf, giving them umbrellas to float down to houses below Santa's sleigh. Which misfit toy was apparently thrown to their death? A, the ostrich riding a cowboy. B, the bird that swims in a fishbowl. C, the water gun that shoots jelly. D, the pink polka-dotted stuffed elephant. Or E, the train with square wheels on his caboose.
Oh, man, I wish I was paying attention earlier when somebody else gave a guess. Because I want to say the elephant, but did somebody else say the freaking elephant?
No. Well, yes, actually.
Yes. Well, I'm going to say the train with square wheels. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo is a...
Choo-choo!
Not the right answer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so sorry, but...
Well, you did just say to call in, right? You didn't say I had to win.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, and actually that leaves 4 more choices, and we're going to hang up on you, and you can call right back and try again.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you in a minute, I guess.
Yeah. It's like Peter Venkman says in Ghostbusters. Good guess, but wrong.
Good guess, Eric. You are correct. So Eric got it right.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Crystal. Okay, so where was I? A24 just keeps adding to an impressive production schedule for the next couple of years as they have slowly become one of the most powerful studios in Hollywood. They also recently announced an Elon Musk biopic and are coming off a bunch of Oscar wins these last few years, which included Best Picture win for Everything Everywhere All at Once earlier this year. As for this year's race, they have a plethora of films in the hunt for more Oscars. They include Sofia Coppola's Priscilla, wrestling biopic The Iron Claw about the Von Erich family, The Past Lives, thought to be a frontrunner in most categories earlier in 2023. That is not to mention other solid hits this year, like the horror film Talk to Me, and Ari Aster's latest film Beau is Afraid. They are the most interesting studio They are the most interesting studio in the game right now. Okay, I was reading that right, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Other films we may see in 2024 include Ty West's third film in his horror trilogy Maxine, Alex Garland's fourth film Civil War, Paul Rudd, Jana Ortega's comedy Death of a Unicorn. That's a comedy. What's so funny about a Death of a Unicorn? And so many more. Now they are getting into business with
Hideo Kojima.
And Death Stranding could be a huge film for them. I'm sure.
Well, the game is very, like I said, weird, because it's almost like it's more of an interactive movie in a lot of ways than it is a video game. Yeah, so it could work really well in the cinematic format of a movie. But I am really interested to see what angle they go with, because Kojima, he's the one that really introduced fourth wall breaking stuff in the video games. Well, he didn't introduce it, but he used a lot of it. Like in the first Metal Gear Solid game, he made it so you had to be able to beat a mind reading boss. You actually had to put your controller in the second player controller port to be able to beat him, so that he couldn't read your mind.
That's goofy.
Oh yeah, but then stuff like that, and then you had to read the back of the video game cover to know what frequency that you had to tune the radio in the game to be able to get information you needed. So like interesting fourth wall breaking stuff like that in the comic. So I'm wondering what kind of stuff that they can pull like that for movies.
It's really fourth wall breaking. Reading the back of the game thing to get.
Well, yeah, but that information isn't available in the video game at all.
Okay.
The frequency you need is on the video game case, but the information is still in the game.
Well, fourth wall breaking is like your character turning to you and saying you hit the wrong button.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. Like with Norman Reedus, if you tried, because one of the weird mechanics in this game is that you can make Norman Reedus' character pee. And if you try to turn
information I did not need to know.
But if you try to turn the camera around to the front, he'll keep turning away from you and flip you off eventually if you keep it up.
Oh, I take it you've tried.
That's
no.
bizarre. But okay.
Well, like I said, this game is weird.
All right, Warner Brothers Discovery is expanding, sharing their vast library of DC content, once exclusive to their streaming platform Max, to the AVOD service Tubi, that will feature 10 newly curated fast channels. Among the titles included are recent DC Universe live-action films, The Batman 2022, Black Adam 2022. Boy, that movie just kind of dropped off the planet, didn't it?
It just kind of came and went, yeah.
Wonder Woman 2017 and Aquaman 2018, and TV shows like Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Love that show.
The addition of recent blockbuster movies and fan-favorite series from the DC library is a monumental offering for Tubi viewers, said Adam Lewiston, Chief Content Officer, Tubi, in a statement. We're so pleased to have some wonderful partners at Warner Brothers Discovery who are expanding the reach of their superhero franchise films and series that are destined to draw new audiences and fandoms with Tubi's highly engaged viewers. Tubi's already stocked up on Batman and Superman, which will expand over time. Already available are the first three 80s to 90s live-action Batman films from Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher, the first two live-action Christopher Reeve-starred Superman films, and several other live-action DC series in the Batvert universe, including Birds of Prey, Batwoman, and Gotham, and the Superman prequel series, Krypton. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That kind of came and went, too, didn't it?
Yeah, it had, 2 seasons?
The releases will be released over time, with Lois and Clark premiering on the platform on December 31st. The DCU films coming to the platform in 2024, that's not DCU, include Aquaman, Black Adam, Birds of Prey, and the Fabulous Immaculation of One Harley Quinn, Green Lantern 2011, Suicide Squad, The Batman, Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman 1984. That movie was bad. Shortly after his success with 2020's The Invisible Man, I have yet to see that movie. I saw the trailers for that, and I'm like, this is absolute garbage.
It's actually pretty good.
Really? Mm-hmm. See, when I'm watching the trailer and somebody dumps white on him and the main villain looks like a golf ball, I'm out. Sorry. Was tapped to revive The Wolfman for Blumhouse Productions, which had Ryan Gosling on board to star. While Wanell would end up leaving the project, it looks like there's another creative overhaul as Gosling is leaving the project and Christopher Abbott is stepping in to star, as Wanell is once again confirmed to be helming the picture. The Hollywood Reporter not only confirmed the creative shakeups, but also revealed that the film moving forward more substantially, as it has earned an October 25th, 2024 release date.
Wow, that's not long for a movie.
No, not at all.
Especially one that's going to bound to be effects heavy, like something that involves werewolves.
Maybe, unless they go practical. In the wake of leaving the project, one was replaced by Gosling's former Blue Valentine and the Place Beyond the Pines collaborator Derek Cianfrance. In the 3 years since the project was announced, 3 years already, there have been a few updates about the project, though development was obviously impacted not only by the coronavirus pandemic, but also by this year's actors and writers' strikes. Oh, yeah. Forgot about all that.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder the earlier story that we're talking about, the Good Times, was taken 3 years also, as well.
Yep.
Oops, my bad. This update of creative shifts and earning a release date that's only 10 months away would imply the project could start shooting in the immediate future. Abbott might not be a household name like Gosling, but has been scoring multiple acclaimed performances across multiple genres of indie film, such as It Comes at Night and Processor, with Abbott most recently appearing alongside Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things after the original Wolfman was released in 1941. Wow. Mm-hmm. The figure cemented himself as one of the iconic Universal monsters. The most significant attempt to revive the property came with a straightforward reboot in 2010, starring Benicio del Toro, which was met with critical and financial disappointment because it was a disappointing movie. Part of that made The Invisible Man such a hit was that rather than a straightforward revival of the source material, Wanell found an unconventional approach to the material that embraced the spirit of its predecessor while also adding in a much more contemporary and frightening feel. When this new Wolfman was announced, it was teased as being a similar embrace of the tone of the original movie while also reimagining the actual plot. That project teased that it would follow a character that would feel more like Jack... anyway. Nightcrawler. Okay, weird. That Nightcrawler movie.
Oh, the one
TV
with
show.
Jake.
Yeah, very bizarre. A big thank you to our guest, Stephen H. Provost, with all the guests on Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Pop Culture Kaboom follows and likes them on Facebook, depending on what options are available. So as they post news, it is reposted to the Pop Culture Kaboom news feed on Facebook. So give us a like and a follow at the very least, and then give them a like and a follow from there as they post it and we share it. Next week, we'll be talking about Christmas-themed collaborations. What do you, the listener, think were the best and worst of all time? We'll also have our personal list of best and worst, as well as our individual lists of go-to holiday pop culture material, i.e. movies, games, books, etc. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and please continue supporting Pop Culture Kaboom by listening to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show live every Sunday night. And if you miss any part of the live show, check out the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast produced by 987 and Now Productions on your favorite podcast platform. And not only get this episode, but also previous episodes and some bonus material that'll be coming out as well. Subscribe to the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Also give a like and a follow to Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook for everything you want, everything you need from Pop Culture Entertainment Daily. And subscribe to the Pop Culture Kaboom YouTube channel for video interviews from events we have and will be attending. On behalf of Tony Sanfilippo, Filippo's Horrible Reviews, KNBC, Spencer, Rob, and I, thank you for your support. We will talk with you again right here live next Sunday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time, anytime during the week on Facebook and via email. Don't touch that dial or close that browser window. Episode number 15 of Season 2 of Murphy's Inc. is coming up next, and it is the climatic conclusion to the season with a huge cliffhanger of an ending. The episode is titled Timeline Must Be Treated with Respect, and you do not want to miss it. For us, though, until next Sunday, be safe, stay healthy, and peace out, Wabbits.